Hmm? Hmm? We live? We live. We're live. Perfect. Finally. Back for some more Doki Doki Blue Skies. And it's time, as the title very much says, to, start hanging out with Natsuki. With Sayori. I'm still a little bit in Natsuki mode because we just finished her on the previous stream. And to be fair, I feel like I'm not gonna enjoy hanging out with Sayori as much as I did with Natsuki. Which isn't to say I'm not gonna enjoy it, I'm just probably not gonna enjoy it as much. Also, what a perfect line to start up on. Oh man. After that got me multiple times in my chat. I feel like starting on that meme is pretty much perfect. Then again, it's not like we're gonna be reading much from here on out, because as always, we're gonna be skipping ahead, especially since there's no one around right now anyway. Not like anyone really cares. Well then, let's start off with Natsuki and Yuri, because they're gonna be the least interesting ones out of the bunch in this case. It looks like you tried to experiment a little with today's piece. Yeah. Speaking of experiment, for my previous poem, which at the time this is uploaded, it's gonna be on the previous Doki Doki stream upload in the description, I definitely tried to experiment a little there, okay? Because for one, as you might have noticed, I don't usually write poems that are that much on a happy note. Usually my poems are a little bit darker than that. And so while I was writing it, because I kind of promised that I would write it on a happy note, so while I was writing it, I decided I should experiment a little bit overall. So personally, I'm not that happy with the way it came out, but I think it's important to try new things. I don't know why the rhyme scheme I kind of went for still throws me off a bit. Because if you haven't noticed it, I might as well tell you what I went for. We have like this pair rhyme that's encasing like two separate lines. And those are, well, the first one of the two that are encased is like an internal rhyme, where you have two rhyming words within the same line, and then the second one of the two is just filler. And I'm really not happy with the way that it came out. I still think it's better than what I've written previously, in the very beginning, but I don't know, when reading it out loud it just doesn't flow as nicely, I think. So yeah, that's my opinion on that piece, which means I probably will either try something I won't try that again, but I will either try something entirely new again this time, or I'll go back to my old writing style of just, the classic, more classic rhyming scheme. So there's that. Anyway, yeah. Is that good or bad? Well, I'm not sure I'm able to say. Of course I know what I like, but it would be arrogant for me to impose such criteria onto your piece. Also, I think the reason why this is different is because when we reach this point, we've usually reached the point where one of the two is dating us and the other one hates us. Well, not officially dating, but we're on one character's character route and the other one hates us, so they both are gonna have something different to say. So again, it's not like we're mainly going for those two here. Just figured I might add it. And someone, hi, what's up? Welcome back. Short gang? Short gang? What do you mean short gang? Did I miss something? I do believe that exploring one's own style is a wonderful thing. That's comforting. I was worried that I had disappointed you in some way. Huh? You thought, why would you think that? I guess your writing is just really good. I feel like mine can't hold a candle to it. Is that so? Yuri places a hand on her chin, apparently deep in thought. Also, I just noticed that by going Sayori's character out, none of the other two are gonna hate us. Because if we go with Yuri, Natsuki's gonna hate us. If we go with Natsuki, Yuri's gonna hate us. If we go with Sayori, both of them are pretty alright with us. So there's that. What's popping, shorty? What are you talking about? Did I ever officially reveal my height, or why are you calling me shorty? Or is it just because I am here on the bottom of the screen, making me, and being cut off makes me appear short? What is it? I don't get it. Am I missing some kind of joke? How are you? Yes, I am good, but I'm just curious as to why you're calling me short. I am just curious, but I'm doing quite well. How about you? Well, Yuri places hand on her chin, apparently deep in thought. I'm so sorry. Huh? I don't want to make you feel uncomfortable with my writing. How ignorant of me. Only 57 minutes till Christmas? Huh? Wait, what are you talking about right now? Because Christmas... What do you mean 57 days till Christmas? It's already... Okay. Seriously? Like... The 24th is already... Orthodox. Oh, different Christmas. Orthodox Christmas? Okay. Well, I'm apparently ignorant. No, Slavic, yeah. Apparently I'm culturally ignorant. I apologize for that, but for me, Christmas is already, you know, in the past. Already over. But for me, well, it's still cause for celebration for me because, I know that the second half of Season 2 of ReZero has now officially started. I haven't gotten around to watching the next episode yet, but I know it's already released. Because before I started the stream, I was just browsing through YouTube, and suddenly ReZero stuff starts popping up in my recommendations, and I'm like, okay, just gonna ignore that. Don't wanna get spoiled, but apparently it's out. So after the stream is over, you know what I'm doing. So, if you have seen the new episode, please don't say anything. So, just throwing that out there. But I'm hyped. I'm hyped that it's starting again. The suffering is gonna continue. Love is War is legit? Yeah, I have heard a bit about Love is War. Again, not one I've watched. I'm either gonna watch these series when I have time, like I've had multiple recommendations, like the previous DDLC stream, we talked a lot about anime, I remember that. I'm either gonna watch them whenever I have like time to marathon through a series, or eventually, who knows, if I honestly can't get around to it, I will do a watch-along stream at some point. But that's only if I can't find any other opportunity, because right now, I really just mainly want to focus on gaming on this channel, so yeah. How ignorant of me. Yuri, it's not as bad as you're making it sound in your head. All I was saying is that your writing impresses me. I hope that one day I can write poems that carry the same kind of impact as yours, you know. I see. Forgive me, Code, I'm just a little too used to it. Used to what? Being disliked. Game. I kind of remember this dialogue, but still, why are you prodding my wounds like that? I mean, it's not like I'm disliked here, because I'm getting so much support that I'm really not used to. So this is a change of pace for me, but still. Yuri? I shouldn't be saying that, should I? I'm sorry if that felt awkward. Do you mind if we move on from that? Alright. Would it be okay if I read your poem now? Oh, of course. I hope you enjoy it. So I am gonna check if it's a new one, because I feel like Yuri would usually give us a poem that would kind of be a confession of her love, and that shouldn't be the case now. Yeah, I don't think we've seen this one. Jesus Christ. Okay. It's about two students who want to confess love, hang them, but will have better grades than anyone else in school, while female is like second best. So they're both incredibly intelligent, and they want to big brain the others the other into confessing. All right. Because no one can do it themselves, apparently. Oh god, what is that title? I can't read it. Forlorn? Maybe? Pastel palettes shiver and shake underneath my gossamer hands. Out of reach, my shoulders ache. You floating away, my pleas unheard. Lost in the silent charcoal mist, I try to touch your silky hair. Glowing embers of passionate trysts whirling around in amethyst air. Verdant quadrilateral cloves navigate my rusty veins. Help me last until it's over. Take control, grab the signs. I hope one day to see you again and hear your soothing silent tune. I'll patiently wait for the moment when I'm sheltered under your gentle moon. Jesus Christ, I couldn't read that. Is this your first time? Well, first time seeing that poem. Because when you go for the other character routes, you get different poems at this stage. So yeah, that's the first time I tried reading that, if that's what you're saying. I apologize if that was horrible, but I have to admit sometimes, in some situations, her handwriting is a little bit difficult to read. It looks nice, but not always easy to read, depending on which words she has in there, which letters follow into which other ones. Time makes everything better? Well, maybe. Also, remember that command you tried to use last time that didn't work? Because I hadn't implemented it yet. Remember that one? Might want to try that again now. Also, if you go into the About section, I also changed some stuff to be a little bit easier to navigate in case you're confused. Got some things changed like you requested. Yep, that one. I am sorry if this isn't the most interesting piece, but I wanted to try writing with a prompt in mind. Sounds like that restricted you a bit. Did you not want to write this? Oh, it's not that. It's just I've been thinking a lot about my writing recently. I've felt like I should try to challenge myself a bit. I see. So, what was the inspiration behind this one? Here takes a breath, apparently thinking of what to say. I suppose it's about an internal struggle between one's own desires and their best interests. It's important for those who care about to be happy, even if it means we cannot be happy ourselves. I imagine it's something I'll need to come to terms with. She mumbles that last part as though she were thinking it out loud. I see. Well, thanks for sharing, Yuri. Yes, of course, Code. Well then, shall we move on to Natsuki? I think so. And then Monica, and then last but not least, Sayori. Hello. This one's alright. Alright. Yeah, it's about average, not amazing, but not terrible. Well, I'm at least trying. I never said you weren't. This just isn't my style. Turns out that you have to do that in browser, so... Oh. Really? It doesn't work? So there's another way around. Well, does it work from chat maybe? Like with the command? Have you you might wanna maybe try that one, maybe that works. Oh, you joined already. Well, have fun. I know there's not a lot going on right now, because I literally just recently created it and haven't gotten around to doing anything, but as I've said, the Discord server exists because my community wanted it, so I feel like my community should decide what I'm gonna do with the server. So, yeah. Again, feel free to voice any suggestions. I literally have an entire chat room devoted to exactly that. Well, not just for Discord ideas, but everything else too. You think so? Well, right now there's not much going on, but we'll see, we'll see. We shall see. This just isn't my style. Alright, nothing wrong with that. People have their opinions. Yep. Your poems are kinda like... decent, I guess is the word. Feels like there's some potential in them, but it just stops short of it. Well, any tips to finally reach this potential you keep talking about? Ha! Coming to the pro for tips, are ya? Yeah, but I think it's better to prepare than just waiting. Also have more faith. I mean, I guess I'll try doing that. I'll try. I definitely have been a little bit more daring ever since I initially started streaming. Just considering the poems I write, that alone I've already started leaning a bit more into that. Because when I first started writing poems, it was more like an obligation to just write something, which is why it was like 4 or 5 lines at the beginning. And now I feel like it's actually turned a little bit more into proper poems, even though I'm still not too proud of them. I have decided to actually have enough faith in myself to actually attempt to write something. So it's progress. And I just need to progress in having a little bit more faith in myself during streams, and we'll see where we go from there. Just like Ishigami? Ishigami. Now you gotta help me out here. Which series are you referencing here? Because I think you're referencing a series. If it's from Love is War, then naturally I haven't, as I've said, I haven't seen it yet, so I can't really get that comparison. But yeah, I mean, also comparing me to some, I presume, anime character. I mean, I'll have to make sure to watch that just to see if that comparison is justified. Oh, Konosuba. Yeah, I watched Konosuba. Don't worry. Yeah. Ishigami. Now I gotta think. Ishigami. Because that name currently doesn't really ring any bells. Ishigami. Or are you asking that because you want to bring up another comparison? What was that one guy? No, that guy was called Mitsurugi. Um, and you think you are useless like Aqua, but actually you're better than that. Well, it's not too difficult to be better than Aqua. Then again, she's not entirely useless, you know? I mean, she comes in handy when it comes to undead. When you have any undead creatures you fight, then Aqua is useful. But other than that, she is useless, pretty much. And, well, the fact that she's so incredibly useful against undead is actually more of a problem, considering that, you know, she likes to go after Wiz all the time. I would let her in the cave just like Kazuma. Well, I mean, he did try it, but he came back, kind of. I mean, but seriously, the one thing she's useful against, which are undead, also are kind of her problem, because the undead are constantly drawn to you as long as she's around. So she is useful against undead, but if she wasn't around, you wouldn't have to deal with all those undead in the first place. She helped once, yeah. I mean, against the Dullahan, that worked. But honestly, the one problem she's really good against is the one she keeps causing herself. I mean, she also can break barriers, like against the Walking Fortress. She also gave the finishing blow against Hans, the deadly poison slime. So yeah, actually she did help out a couple of times. If you really think about it. Also, she was the one who... Yeah, during sleep, I know. And then she purified all the ones in the area and almost ended up killing Wiz. So... yeah. She and Wiz seriously need some more distance in between each other, you know? Speaking of Konosuba, by the way, might share that. I'm actually playing the Konosuba mobile game. You know, Konosuba Fantastic Days. Don't know if you've heard of it. But yeah, I've been playing that a lot. And to be fair, I actually use Aqua in that game because as a healer, she's pretty decent. As an attacker, well, I don't know what to tell you about her as an attacker. It really depends on the enemies. Like, if you're fighting those giant toads, her ultimate move literally does less damage than her basic attacks. And that is sad. Which is why you never use her ult against giant toads. So, getting a little bit off topic again. God, I have to install on... You have to install on Chrome? What? Why? What? What do you mean? What do you have to install on Chrome? Like Discord? No, you said you already joined. Huh? Well, viruses, here I come. Alright then. I mean, as long as you have some sort of antivirus, you should be okay. Usually. And you don't go on any dangerous websites. Coming to the pro for tips, Arya. Might as well continue, you know. Otherwise we're gonna be stuck here forever. Alright, I'll help you out this time. Natsuki examines my poem once more. Alright, I think I know what the problem is. It's your language, it's mediocre. My language? What's bad about my language? Huh? Huh? Why does my language suck? Am I... Huh? Like, the words you use, there's nothing really special about them. They're just average words. Don't know a lot about viruses, but I know when I install them. Yeah. I mean, fair enough. Once you install a virus, you might start noticing it. I think you should use some softer words. Like my poems. So I should start writing like you, is what you're saying. Well, my poems are the best. Seeing Natsuki so proud of her own work. Can't help but smile. Alright, Natsuki, whatever you say. Let's see your poem now. Oh yeah, here. Finally, something easy to read. Also something happy. If I got encrypted, I don't have anything on my phone, so... Well, that's fair. If you don't have anything worth stealing, that's one big upside. Alright. Something happy. Cookies and cream and my own happy place. Fresh and warm sunshine and a breeze on my face. These are the things that happiness means. Just folded laundry hot from the dryer lifts up my spirits so they can't get much higher. Puppies and kittens and cute bunnies too, all cuddled up with small barks, squeaks and mews. These are the things that make me beam. Sleeping in a big soft bed, listening to rain, pit-pat overhead. Talking with friends and laughing aloud, all worries now gone and playing around. These are the things that fill my dreams. But sometimes happiness is hard to find. I know darkness lingers in everyone too, and some people feel the eternal blues. So here's a poem from me to you. Please know that people are all alike. If we stick together, we'll be alright. Let's talk and laugh about happy things and find the joy that true friends can bring. Why do I feel like this poem was written for me? Just, you know, yeah, happy stuff, there's dark stuff, but we should be happy. We should talk to friends and be happy together, you know? Wow. Yeah, no, I'm gonna keep writing about negative stuff, because I feel more at home writing about those topics. But maybe I'll experiment every now and then. It all depends. Yeah. You know what this poem is about, right? You wrote it for Yuri, right? I wouldn't say... Well, actually, yeah. I wrote it after seeing how much effort Yuri was putting into changing. I mean, it's only fair after the poem she wrote for me, right? Well, not for me, but... Don't worry, I know what you mean. Should add some bots. Well, the only bot I have is, you know, for commands. Just classic old commands. The basic stuff, you know. But who knows, if I find some other good bots to add, I'll consider it. But right now, well, when I started setting this stuff up, I initially only was like thinking about, alright, what is necessary? And that's basically what I did, like the basic commands like uptime, and now the Discord command. Actually, I just remembered I might as well add a command for my YouTube channel. I know you can access it from the about section, but I mean the same goes for Discord, you know, so might as well add that in. Virgin tubers? Well, you say that like it's an insult. Virginity is cool, Ampro Gamer. Hold on to it for as long as you can. I know I certainly am. Oh no. But, yeah. Thank you for coming by anyway. Thank you for coming by anyway. Don't worry, I know what you mean. Anyway, I guess that I was, you were? Shut up. I was childish, alright? I just always get caught up in the moment. Hard for me to let go of that sort of stuff. But yeah, after writing 2 negative poems, a positive one was pretty refreshing. I do like that feel of this poem. It really is something happy. Yeah, I mean, I was feeling happy when I was writing it, so naturally the mood would be happy. The ending is a bit bittersweet, though. Yeah, about that? Well, I was thinking that Yuri probably has problems that I don't know about. Oh, she does. Don't worry about that. She certainly does. I mean, all people do, right? So I guess the message at the end was that even if we have problems and even if we're feeling sad, if we look towards our friends, we can find happiness. You know, joy in solidarity and stuff. Solidarity, eh? That's a very Yuri-ish word. Well, I was thinking about what Yuri would call it, so... I'm not dumb, you know. I do know big words. I just consciously decide not to use them. Alright, I get you. I think Yuri will really appreciate your poem, though. She better. You know, if you need help for something, I can help you, pal. Thank you. You know, don't really need anything more than what you're already doing. Just having someone to chat with and getting feedback on like what I could do, all that stuff really helps. Like, just the fact that you recommended just adding a Discord command, which has now brought me to the idea of actually adding in a YouTube command, because not everyone goes to the About section. Some people just like to look for that sort of stuff just like within the commands rather than just checking out the About tab, so it definitely doesn't hurt to add in those commands, I feel like. Especially because I feel like some people, as you said, apparently some stuff just doesn't work unless you're on browser, apparently. So maybe I can work around that if I add in more commands. So your feedback is already more than enough help. Well then, let's go for Monica. See if I can find her voice today. Gotta go high and quiet. Come on.
Hi, cool.
I approach Monica, wanting to talk about Sayori with her some more. Well, I can help more, you know. Honestly, right now I don't know what else you could possibly do. You're already doing so much just by what you've been doing. Like adding bots and things. Well, as I've said, I'm just as long as those recommendations are already pretty helpful. But that does remind me, eventually I'm gonna need mods in chat. Eventually. Right now, I don't feel like I've reached the point where I'm gonna need mods, but I feel like when it comes down to it, you're high up on that list on people who I am gonna mod. Because, well, all the time you've been here, you've been very, very supportive. And ever since you showed up, you've actually been a regular during my streams, except for the one where I had audio problems. So, the fact that you've been so supportive and are regular on my streams, I think you can understand why I'd put you so high up on the list of people I'd want to mod. Nah, don't? Really? Really? Alright. As I said, don't add mods. Why, you think mods are just gonna abuse their power in chat? No need for that. Well, as I said, right now there's no need for that anyway, because as you realize, there's so little people in chat that moderators aren't really necessary. But who knows? I mean, I don't really think it's gonna happen, but just in case this channel grows a bit more, yeah, I'm gonna need some mods at that point, if it ever arrives. So if you'd be down for that, if that time does arrive, I'd be happy to rely on you. Alright, I approach Monica wanting to talk. This is skippable. So we're gonna skip ahead until she has some new stuff to say, which should be soon. There it is. But although we're not supposed to be discussing poetry, right now, I can't help but remain preoccupied by thoughts of Sayori. I'm worried about her, to say the least. It's such an unexpected change that's come over her. Did something happen to her?
Code?
Huh? Sorry, did you just call my name?
Yeah, twice actually. You seem like you're a million miles away. What's up?
I was just thinking about whatever's happened to Sayori. So sorry if I wasn't paying attention.
It's fine, Code, I understand. For what it's worth, you're good friends for caring so much about her.
Thanks, I just hope that things can go back to normal soon. Oh, not back to normal, we're gonna go beyond normal. We're gonna romance her up real good.
Well, my advice to you would be to let her come to you on her own. She'll talk if she wants to talk. I think that you should respect her boundaries.
You're right, I appreciate the advice, by the way.
Of course, I'm always willing to lend a hand. Lend a sympathetic ear if you need one. Today might not be the happiest of days for the club, but that's alright, not every day will be happy. We'll all pull through this together.
I hope so. I feel like I shouldn't be going about the club normally, but I think that Sayori probably needs some normalcy right now. So in the end, I try to get back to I try to get poem sharing back on track. Anyway, since we're supposed to be sharing poems right now.
Oh, I almost forgot about it myself. Some president I am, huh?
Monica quickly whips out her pristine composition notebook.
This my poem then. Alright.
Thanks. The box part 2, yeah, I think we've read this one. We've read this one before. Only Yuri and Natsuki had new ones today, but maybe Sayori will have one too, because, you know, we're romancing her.
You know.
Oh, right, and now we're back to normal because poem sharing. So you know what this means? It's time for our girl Sayori. Let's see what she has to say. I'm curious.
I like this one a lot, Code. It's probably the best one so far.
Ah, well, thanks. I had a feeling you'd like this one in particular.
Huh? Why's that?
Well, I was thinking of things you like while I was writing it.
Really?
Yeah, I think I connect the most with your writing style.
I'm honestly a little surprised. I thought you would have preferred the others.
Why?
My poetry's nothing special, Code. Look at Yuri's, for example. Her style is way more sophisticated. Natsuki's is so bouncy and effective.
Hey, don't say that. Just because your style is different, it doesn't mean it's bad or anything. Your style is unique. Your poems have a really nice sense of innocence and nostalgia to them. I mean, you managed to make me feel nostalgic about a memory I've never actually experienced with your Dear Sunshine poem. Just reread something like Discord mode. Ban people for no reason. But or just something that everyone can do. Or single warning or informing admin. Alright, yeah. I mean, that's... Well, maybe it's better than that. I currently have full control over everything I do. I have full control over everything I do. And that's... Well, it's reassuring in one sense, and kind of daunting in another sense, because... Well... Who knows if, by chance, this channel does in fact grow. And that's a very small chance. Then again, it has steadily been growing, and that's kind of worrying. Because previous stream, like I had so many streams where I didn't get any followers. And then like the previous DDLC stream I got like 5. And then the stream that followed, I mean not the stream that followed because that was, you know, relatively short and bad audio. But the one after that I got yet another one. Like seriously, this channel is steadily growing, but slowly, and I appreciate that. So there's no chance of me ever getting overwhelmed, like, within within the foreseeable future. But still, just in case this channel does grow, it's gonna be daunting to have to take care of everything myself. So I am eventually gonna have to rely on some other people. I'm not gonna get automatic mods, like, that are, like, pieces of software that are written. I'm actually gonna have to rely on people and make them moderators. And when it comes to that, I'm only gonna do that with people that I actually trust. Which is why I hope that you'll still be around when if that time eventually does come. 1 week there were like 4 ban waves and people getting banned for saying damn. Well, just know that in my community, you can swear as much as you want as long as you're not seriously trying to insult another person. As long as it's all in good fun and everything, you can swear all you want in my community. There we go. You got the official stamp of approval from me. So feel free to do that. Made me think of happier times from my childhood. And I really liked that.
It made you happy?
Yep, your poems put a smile on my face, Sayori. The other girls' poems are great, don't get me wrong, but like I said, I connect the most with yours. All I can say is fuck yeah. That's damn right you can say fuck yeah. Honestly, the biggest change that's gonna come over me is that if this channel does grow, and I'm eventually gonna be qualified for monetization over on YouTube, I'm gonna have to actually completely rethink everything I say so I can actually get monetization. But since this potential scenario is so far off in the future, if it does ever happen at all, for now, I don't have to worry about that and I can curse all I want. Right now, at least. And also as long as I don't keep it too serious. Yeah. That is not going to happen soon, I have to say. Yeah, as I said. And it's only a what-if scenario, as I said. If it's gonna happen, it's gonna take forever. And that is if it's ever gonna happen. I know fully well that this channel will likely not get anywhere near that at any point in the foreseeable future. And I'm fine with that, to be honest. As long as I have some sort of a community, I don't mind if it's whether it's small or big. I just hope that I have a... How do I say this? What matters about a community is not the size of the community, but actually the quality of the community. As long as every single member is nice to each other and appreciates each other back and talk today, and it's just general good vibes, I really couldn't care less if the community was small or big or anything in between. Only I'm on chat, we need more people. Well, as I said, that's not the first time this has happened, you know? Like the stream where multiple people came around and there were like 3 people chatting all at once. That was like a like once in a millennium scenario for me personally. Like that doesn't happen often. I usually get either streams where there's absolutely no one or like one person. And then we had the big DDLC stream that I had. This is such a time killer. Well, I mean, I could just get back to the game and you could theoretically leave it as like your background audio, your podcast, as you guys were saying on the previous DDLC stream. That way you can actually do something productive while you support my stream. If you want to, that is. Or you could keep chatting. Both is appreciated. The other girls' prompts are great, don't get me wrong, but like I said, I connect with the most with you. I hope that cheers you up a little bit. For just a moment, the vacant look of melancholy that's been plaguing her face disappears as she smiles a genuine smile. Thank you, Code. That means more than you can imagine. Am I starting to get through to her? Oh, you are. Maybe now's the best time to ask what's on her mind. No, let her come to you. By the way, Sayori, I've been meaning to ask you, but pessimistic thoughts suddenly flood my mind. What if she doesn't feel comfortable talking about it right now? Sayori would probably approach me herself with her concerns if she felt comfortable doing so. Yes, that's what I said. You know, that's something I could never do. If I want to say something, I think it through in my head over and over and over again until I'm 100% sure I want to say it. Which is why it usually takes forever for me to say something, or I just don't say anything. Like people who come to a random streamer and say Virgin Tuber, like, bro. Like, honestly, as I said, it's not an insult. Honestly, like, if you're the kind of person who just sleeps with a person one time and then gets dumped immediately, that's like you're the one who's kind of looking miserable, in my opinion. So, but other than that, yeah, like you said, the ones who usually say it are usually kind of projecting a bit. Either that, or they feel like they've accomplished something by getting dumped over and over again after just a single night. One of the two. After all, everyone has their off days, right? I guess it's only normal for her to act a little different from time to time. I don't want to come across as pushy or demanding, even though I'm concerned for her. With a heavy sigh, I change what I was originally going to ask. Have you thought about what you want to do for the festival? Monica said we'd be doing a variety of things for it, such as decorations and poster advertisements. Judging by the relief on Sayori's face, I'm guessing she initially expected me to probe her further on her behavior.
It's funny you mentioned that. She said she was going to discuss that with everyone today, after we've all shared our poems.
Wow, I am a real psychic, aren't I?
A what? A sidekick?
Yes, Sayori, I am a sidekick, your sidekick. You're the main character, who would have guessed? Congratulations, Sayori. A psychic. I mean, someone who can read minds and see into the future. Can just say to her that you fucked is her mother and then you are not a virgin and will be after 9 months. I mean, that's just like the standard thing to say. But like, honestly, I said that all the times. When did virgin become an insult? Like what part of that is insulting? Like, honestly, think about it. I mean, yeah, I can see where you're coming from. That losing the big V is gonna be some kind of accomplishment for a lot of people. But if you want to wait, where's the harm in it? You know, no need to mean it as an insult. And honestly, I think the sleeping with her mom gag is like so old and overplayed as well already. You know. Like, if you want a real comeback to that, you gotta think of something new. Not just the basic mom thing. Because everyone sees it coming from a mile away. You know, meme, please, dude, oh god, I know, yeah, I know that. I know that. It's been a while since I've seen that. Been a while since I've seen that meme pop up anywhere. Kind of faded into the background again, but that's what happens to most memes, right? Most memes fade out of existence after a short while. Can't do anything about it. And other memes just stick around forever, and others again just disappear and then come back again. Like in the world of meme culture, there's just so many different fates a meme can take. You never know. Is the meme gonna die? Is it gonna stick around? Is it gonna revive? You'll only find out when the time actually comes.
Oh, what am I thinking of then?
Breakfast? She sticks her tongue out at me. And just like that, the playful banter and light-hearted teasing is back. My man just lost it after saving it for 70 years. I mean, you know that's impressive in its own right if you can if you can keep it for that long. Oh my god, you know what I'm just thinking of right now? I'm just thinking about one of the most cultured animes of recent history, Interspecies Reviewers. And yes, I have seen it. Where there was this one lizard guy who kept his virginity until, like, I believe it was 40, and then because he kept his virginity until 40, he just transformed into a wizard. So, gotta hand it to him. Virginity is cool, don't lose it, turn into a wizard. Yeah, but gotta watch a cultured anime every once in a while. Naturally, I watched the uncensored version. Which, to be fair, was hard to find. Alright. Now that I've shared some culture, gotta press on. After all, we want to get through Act 1 so we can get into the main story here. Maybe I've just been worrying too much. It looks like she's feeling a bit better. Right?
Well, I guess I can show you my poem now.
I don't know. I think I know this one, right? Wasn't this where with that fairy who's been living in the castle and granting wishes and everything. Yeah, I remember it, even though it has been a long time, so nothing new despite the fact that we're romancing her. And apparently no new dialogue either, so we know all this stuff. Hang on. Of course I'm gonna go with. Also I'm gonna save. We might go back to this. After all, Monica doesn't have her own character out. But I wanna see what happens if I choose to spend the time with her anyway, you know? Is it understandable that I wanna see what happens? I think it is. But right now, you know who we're going with. Save a delight for last, yeah. So once we've done everything, we're gonna go back here and see what happens if we try to hang out with Monica. Because frankly, seeing as she doesn't have a character out, I'm just really curious to see what would happen here. It might just be that nothing happens. Let's just be honest here. Like in the original game, you can't choose her. But then again, in the original game, you couldn't choose Sayori either, and I think this time it's a valid option, you know? So we're gonna be saving her for like a final episode where we go back and check out what we missed. So, Sayori... Hey Sayori! It's been a while since we've hung out together, hasn't it? It'll be a lot of fun making these goodie bags, I reckon. Mind if I give you a hand with them? She doesn't look quite as happy as I hoped she would be. Are you sure? I wouldn't want to bore you. Plus, it really isn't that much work. The others have a lot more to do, so I'm sure they'll get more out of your help than I would. I exchanged looks with Yuri, Natsuki, and Monica. None of us really know how to react. It's okay, Sayori. Really, it's no problem. I work really well alone. It wouldn't cause any hassle. Choose Monica, you will lose your pride, and you will be banned from Trinity Gang and community. Alright then, horrible choice. But I've already lost it to Yuri. But that was on a different timeline, you know? That was on a past timeline that we've left behind. On the first playthrough. That has since faded into obscurity. And which made me glad that this game, speaking of which, did I turn it back on? Because when you start a new playthrough here, it turns itself back off. No, okay, I did turn it back on. Just in case. I know Natsuki didn't have that kind of scene. But, you know, Sayori might have one. Not sure, but we'll find out. Don't leave me hanging, Sayori. Well, you've seen the stream title, you know fully well that I am that I'm familiar with all the Sayori jokes. Yeah, relax. I've baked loads of cupcakes before, remember? This'll be a walk in the park.
Sayori, no matter who he picked, the outcome would be pretty much the same. We've all got work to do. Our tasks are equally important in making sure that the festival runs smoothly. Don't feel bad about it. God shows you himself. It's what he wants. Do it. Besides, it's a good thing that he's going to be with you, because we need someone who can keep you from eating all the candies.
Hey!
Kidding. Seriously, enjoy yourself, guys. You will have a lot of fun, I can sense it.
Oh, we'll have a lot of fun. Just out of curiosity, is one of Sayori is choking one of Sayori's kinks? Just curious here. Alright, moving on from that. Imagine like Sayori hanging and you see her now that says you got chip baited and she's right behind you smiling. Yeah. I mean, that would definitely be a lot happier than what we got in the game. Chip baited, I'm right here. Fell for it. The one who's hanging is actually Monica wearing makeup. I fooled you. I disguised Monica as myself and hung her up. Oh my god. Why am I like this? Sayori still doesn't look very overly convinced, but she smiles and nods at us. Am I really that much of a burden to work with? No, she just thinks you'll be happier with the others. Okay, fucked also. Yeah. I mean, we all know with how much suffering Monica has caused the others by altering their settings and everything. How fitting would it be if Monica actually ended up dying in one of the endings for this game? I mean, she did also get deleted in the main game, but you know, unlike Yuri and Sayori, she didn't actually die before getting deleted. No, Code, don't think like that. It's just because she's got something bothering her, that's all.
Okay, well, that's settled then. Everyone knows what they're doing, and Code is going to be helping Sayori. I think that's everything sorted then. I'll see everyone on Monday, and don't forget to practice your poems. It'll be fun, guys, I promise.
Natsuki rolls her eyes as she leaves the classroom, Yuri and Monica in tow. As she passes by the door, Monica turns to us.
Take care of yourself, Sayori.
She gives her a gentle smile.
Don't worry, I'm fine.
I'm curious, but it's best not to ask. Their business after all. Ready to walk home again?
Sure, let's go.
So I was thinking about tomorrow. We'll probably have to head to town and grab the supplies for the goodie bags. Is that okay with you?
That's fine. What time should I meet you and where?
We can meet at my place. Also, seeing as we have a lot of work to do, let's make it bright and early.
I know we have a big day ahead of us, but could we not make it too early?
So a bit lazy, I see. She doesn't smile at the light-hearted jab. Strange. I thought she'd bounce off it and call me a meanie, or stick her tongue out. But that look on her face...
No, it's just I guess I'm not an early riser.
No worries I guess if we both got on with it, we could get everything finished earlier than I imagined.
Would 11 AM be okay?
Yeah, I can work with that. Guess it means I get to lie in as well.
Thank you. Anyway, here's a few shops we can go to in town. I think we'll need to go to the arts and crafts store along with the sweets one.
Yeah, sounds good to me. You have my number, right? Just text me if there's any changes in our plans. Otherwise, I'll see you on Sunday at 11.
Okay.
We turn to walk off to our houses.
Oh, in Code?
Yeah?
I'm sorry about how I've been acting today. I promise you I'll be fine tomorrow.
I hope so. Oh, sorry about that. Today has been a strange day. Just when I thought I was getting closer with Sayori. Makes me think, are any of the other girls harboring some sort of hidden side to them? They are. All of them. Who knows? I know. Also, someone, I figured I might mention this right now. Remember the previous stream where you said the sound of suffering again? And you know what? Later on during that same stream, when you, I think, already left, I got kind of paranoid. And I don't blame you for that, because it was honestly not your fault. But later on during the stream, I was like thinking that because I wasn't able to check my audio levels, and you left a while after saying that, I was like, oh dear god, did he actually mean something entirely different? Did he actually not mean my suffering, but that the sound was causing suffering, and I had audio glitches again? Oh no, what if that happened? I didn't think of that at first, but later on, after I saw that that was the last thing you commented before you left, I was like, oh god, did he actually just warn me of some audio problems and I just completely ignored it? I now know that that was not the case, but later on in the stream I got kind of paranoid of that. I don't know why. I'm sorry, it's not your fault, but oh god, you made me paranoid, okay? I just had to laugh at myself a bit at that one. Because, like, honestly, there was like literally nothing about that should have made me suspicious about that being the case, but honestly, I felt like my audio got messed up again. I don't know why I thought that, because the audio being messed up was like a one-time thing, but seeing as it happened just recently, you can understand how I was kind of worried, right? I mean, it literally happened just the stream before that one, so when someone says something about sound and suffering and then doesn't comment anymore, you can hopefully see how I freaked out later on. But I don't blame you for it, like, honestly, it was just like my bad interpretation of what happened there. I still hope that audio bug was like a one-time thing and I won't experience it again. Then again, I will be more cautious from now on. Like, before I stream, I'm always gonna double check now to make sure the audio is fine. So I shouldn't have that problem. Unless, of course, it suddenly pops up during a stream, in which case I will most likely notice if I'm streaming Doki Doki. But if I'm playing Genshin Impact, I can check my audio levels. So that might cause a problem. Then again, I do nowadays, thankfully, have a little bit of a chat going, so I'm sure someone will point it out if it does happen. It's already Sunday. Knowing that I'll be spending a whole day with Sayori is kinda weird. Not in a bad way or anything, it's just been a long time since we've had a day out together with just the two of us. Still, I'm looking forward to it. I just hope whatever was bugging her on Friday is gone. It was really hard seeing her like that. I shake my head. No, it's a new day today. It'll be much better. As my mind drifts while I wait for her, I subconsciously recall a memory from a long time ago. A lot of weak spots. Way too paranoid, way too forgiving for something. Not even. Yeah. But I mean, honestly, is it really that bad to be a little bit too apologetic and forgiving? The paranoid thing I get. But like, honestly, that probably won't happen as much. The main reason why I was a little bit paranoid about that thing is because, well, the audio bug just recently happened. And I still don't even know what exactly happened with it and how I fixed it. So that's why I was a little bit worried, just in case it was gonna be a reoccurring issue. It's just, you know, if a problem happens if a problem just happened recently, naturally you're gonna be a little bit more cautious about it in the future. I'm gonna get less paranoid about that as we move on from here. I mean, of course I don't know you much, but after all, just, you know, strangers on the internet. But is it really such a weird thing to want to care for my community? And like, honestly, right now you're the strongest part of my community, because ever since you started showing up, you've kind of stuck around. I know that's not saying a lot, considering that you only just recently showed up, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. You just didn't show up for one stream, and that was like just a 40-minute stream, so honestly, like, there wasn't even much time for people to show up, and I'm kind of glad you didn't show up to witness that, because it was horrible. I'm still gonna upload it to YouTube, no question about it. I have actually edited it, you know. I usually just upload my stream archives directly over to YouTube without any editing. But I decided to download that archive and actually select the entire area that had the audio issues and just decrease the volume as much as possible to reduce suffering. And I added in a timestamp for people to skip to, just in case they didn't want to suffer through the audio, even if it was lowered. And honestly, it has been a while since I edited some stuff. There are some weirdos crazy in title, but it's very rare to find people like this. I mean, everyone is special in their own right. I know there are definitely some streamers who are like, what was it like? You can spend like an hour here watching the stream, but you have like an hour worth of free time to spend watching a stream, but you don't have enough money to spend like $5 for the content you enjoy. Like, what's wrong with you? Just donate already. I know there's those kinds of people. Also, why did I kind of slip slightly into Natsuki's voice for that with the sassy tone? I just not my intention, but you know what I mean. I know that there's those kinds of people out there who are just like, you're watching my content, so you have to donate. I obligate you to. Otherwise, you can just leave. I know there's those kinds of people, and I don't know why. Like, honestly, they should know that donating is a voluntary thing. You don't have to do it. It's appreciated, but you shouldn't rely on that. Which is why I know fully well that this is a hobby for me. A hobby, and that's all it is. Especially because, well, I don't even have the option to add subscriptions in. And since I don't even have that option, I feel like even expecting any money out of this in the first place is just stupid, completely out there. I know those channels who are literally begging for money usually can get away with it because they already have a little bit of a follower base, you know, a fan base, which is kind of sad. But those people who are literally just streaming to beg people for money and like yell at them if they don't give it to them, that those kinds of people usually actually have a fan base to go off of. And those are usually the kind of people who like actually fall for those kinds of cheap tactics that they have of like making you feel guilty about not donating, which is not something I want to ever resort to. Trust me on that. I know fully well that your money is better spent on other stuff that actually benefits you in some way. So don't throw your money at me if you could use it for something that you yourself could benefit from. I get into the habit of going off topic here, and I'm not sure if I should be doing that. Choosing beggars, to be precise, yeah, absolutely. Not the kind of people I feel like you would want to support, you know. But now that I've gotten so far off topic again, I mean, it was a topic that needed to be addressed at some point. Now that I have a donate button, I just felt like I should inform you guys that you have no obligation to use it. I just wanted to add it because there was some demand. But just because it's there, I now feel like I have to teach you to be I have to tell you to be responsible. As my mind drifts while I wait for her, I subconsciously recall a memory from a long time ago. Our parents took us to a fair that came to town. We must have been around 11. I managed to win Sayori a giant cuddly cow plushie in one of these shooting minigame things. Well, actually my dad did. I couldn't aim for my life. That's when I realized that video games don't train you to shoot in real life. See, media? Listen to this one. Dear media saying that video games turn people into violent mass shooters. Look at this. Video games don't train you to shoot in real life at all. Because, believe it or not, in real life you don't have a reticle to tell you where you're aiming. I smile at the memory. Does she remember it as well? Probably. The buzzing of the doorbell brings me back to the present. Most likely, it's Sayori. Yup, there she is. She's gone for a pretty casual outfit. It's simple, but works really well on her. Hey, Code! Ready to go then? Hey, yeah, sure am. Let's get going. I gently close the door behind me. I almost had a flashback here. I gently close the door behind me. I gently close the door behind me as we step out onto the street. It's a bright sunny day, not too hot, and there's a gentle breeze. Perfect. Some parents think that Corona is spreading by the internet, like what the fuck? Of course. Any excuse to get the kids away from these strange video games. You know what I think is really funny about some parents? They buy their kid a console as a present, and they are then shocked when the kid actually uses it to play video games. That's the most shocking, surprising behavior I've seen online that some parents apparently actually display. I don't get it. Like, why even buy it if you think they're not gonna use it? Anyway, back to the game. I also should stop saying back to the game. Every time I look over to chat and look back at the game, I just say, alright, let's get back into it. People know when I'm reading the dialogue. They realize it when I'm reading the dialogue. I don't need to say it every time. But yeah, I almost had I gently opened the door flashback to the first game. I actually did have that flashback. Because the wording is just so similar, I gently closed the door. And Sayori was not hanging.
So, where are we going first then?
Well, I made a list of all the stuff we'll need, so that'll be a big help. Fish out a small sheet of paper from my pocket. On it, I've written what we need and where to get the items from. So we need bookmarks, some sweets, ribbon, and some gift bags. To be honest, I have no idea where we can get the gift bags and the ribbon. I was planning to go to the arts and crafts store in town, but apparently it was shut down recently.
Oh, really? That's okay. I actually have some gift bags and ribbon at home.
Thank God. That's pretty convenient. You should have mentioned it yesterday, though.
Sorry, I must have forgot.
Nah, it's okay. I'm curious why you have those two things, though. What did you use it for?
Oh, I don't use them or anything. They're left over from a birthday party I had years ago. I think it was my 10th one? You remember it, right?
She looks at me with puppy dog eyes, and I hasten to try and recall. Something about you getting cake all over your face, right?
Hey, you did too!
Can you repeat what? What did I say? What do I need to... What exactly do you want me to repeat what I just said? Gotta be a little bit specific here. I laugh as I realize I can't claim innocence here. About the money thing? Or... no, that was a little bit too far away. You would have said that. About consoles. Oh, you mean how I think that there are some people who buy a console as a gift for their kids and are then genuinely surprised when the kid actually uses it and plays games on it? That those parents actually exist? I'm very surprised by that fact, but I've seen that. I mean, then again, don't trust everything you see on the internet. But I've seen that story multiple times. Like, honestly, I don't really get it. I know it's kind of bad. You don't want the kids to be playing on them too much. But, like, you see your kid playing on the console that you bought for the kid. You see them playing on it once and you're immediately upset. That's behavior I just don't understand. So, I think that's what you're... yeah. Whew. I mean... kind of sad. Then again, there's definitely worse situations out there. I mean, just look at Natsuki's parental situation. Then again, that's not a real situation, but for this specific case, is not real. But but everyone knows that those kinds of situations really exist, where the mom is dead and the dad has just turned into an abusive alcoholic. Those kinds of stories are definitely based on things that actually happened. There's always someone who's worse off than you. I laugh as I realize that I can't claim innocence here. Guilty as charged. Well, with those two items down, we just have to visit the bookstore and the supermarket.
Which one are we going to first?
For you gave a kid something, of course he will use it. What do you think? A child will Let it gather dust? Yeah, absolutely. That's just why I don't understand how that sort of stuff can actually happen sometimes. But apparently it does. Well, I guess it's just some parents are just not that smart. You know how it is. Not everyone can have that 500 IQ, you know? Not everyone can be lucky enough to have 3-digit IQ. Or even 2 digits. Parents who do that most likely are like in the single digits or in the negatives. Let's start with the bookstore, it's closer.
Whatever you say.
As we walk, I notice Sayori humming contentedly. A slight skip in her step. I forgot how adorable she could be, always so cheery. It's like she lives in her own little world. She looks like she's back to normal again. To say I'm relieved would be an understatement. Almost like a weight has been lifted off my shoulders. Hey Sayori? You look like you're in a much better mood today.
Of course. I said I'd be fine today, remember? So here I am.
It's a relief to see you back to your normal self. You really had me worried on Friday.
Nothing to worry about me, silly. How have you been anyway?
Good, good. Never thought I'd be writing poems in my free time, but hey. It's a real change of pace from what I'm used to. But I'm not complaining. Sayori giggles. What?
Oh, nothing. I just didn't see you as the poetic type. That's all. Oh, those video games, I guess. You really got into them over the past few years.
I shift uncomfortably. I feel like this is a reference to us drifting. After all, she's not wrong. As I become more reclusive, I turn to gaming as an escape. Well, truth be told, I didn't really think I was a poet either. I guess I never realized how much I enjoy literature. I shrug off the comment about gaming. I wanna enjoy today after all. I mean, Yuri showed me this really cool book. Well, maybe not cool, but it was pretty interesting. Something about a girl who escapes from this weird human experimentation prison, and all sorts of horrible stuff happens to her. Sayori pouts, looking very disapproving.
I don't like the sound of that at all.
Oh no, did we make a mistake? Did we already make a mistake? Should we have gone with Natsuki? Should we have gotten the manga from Natsuki instead? Or would she have complained about it not being real literature and just a manga? Was there a right choice? Our choice is actually important in chapter 1 already.
Sounds really scary. I'd hate to live in a world where horrible stuff like that happened to me.
All looks like Sayori's wonderful innocence never went elsewhere. I'd hate for anything bad to happen to you too, Sayori. I'd never let it happen. Except you kind of do in the main game.
You're so sweet, Code, you know that?
I used to be protective of Sayori when we were kids. Guess not much has changed, even after so much time apart. She is so cute. She is. Like, pretty much all of them are, except Monica. Like, Monica has many things, but cute is not one of them. Like, the game actually pointed out her attributes. Smart, beautiful, athletic. Cute is not one of them. The other three, no problem. All of them are cute in their own way. You have to admit. Like with Yuri, it's cute how she's so extremely shy. Natsuki, her looks alone are enough to make her be cute. And then we have Sayori with her uplifting and bubbly nature. I think you know what I mean. Everyone except Monica. I hadn't even realized we'd made it to the bookstore already. As it turns out, the bookstore is actually in a library. It's pretty small, but after glancing around, it seems to have what we need. Alright, here we are. Let's see what they have. I make a beeline for a rack of shelves carrying a nice variety of bookmarks that include all different colors and sizes. So I wanders over her eyes wide at all of the choices.
Ooh, so many to choose from.
Yup, who would have guessed that there's such a demand for bookmarks of all things?
This blue one is really nice.
I look over, slightly wearily. I forgot how excitable she could be. It's a bookmark with a blue koala. Who makes a bookmark with a blue koala? Sayori seems to love it though. Before I even get to say anything, she starts gushing over another bookmark. Look at this red one! It's got a little ribbon shape on it, just like mine! Well, at least this one is a bit more justifiable. Look at these, Code! They've got little puns on them! Well, Natsuki's also cute. I mean, who would not appreciate her little rudeness, tsuneriness, and of course, her fang. Yes, indeed, the moe fang is just, it adds to everything. Like, if you give a little girl like a moe fang, it's just gonna increase her cuteness by at least 50%. At least. We can all agree on that, right? Sure enough, there's a row of little bookmarks bearing pictures of objects with puns related to them. An apple, the quote, "You are the apple of my eye." Cutesy smiling cartoon bacon with the words, "I like you more than bacon." Okay, that one actually kinda made me laugh. I'll admit, I like the bacon one. The apple one's too cheesy though. Her face is all scrunched up trying to decide which bookmarks to get. Probably better off just getting these plain ones, Sayori. These are just for strangers coming to view our performance. Finally someone who understands my need for shorty gang. Alright then. I mean, you opened up with it and I didn't exactly understand where you were coming from initially. But now that I see what you're referring to, yeah, absolutely, yeah. I 100% agree. No point getting these cutesy punny ones. Aww, no fun. Hey, I'll get you the donut one though. The donut one has a smiley donut with the words, "Donut, do not you know how amazing you are?"
Oh, really? Thank you, I love it!
It's not hard to make Sayori smile. In the end, she went for a pack of plain, colorful bookmarks. They get the job done, right? I think Sayori forgets that not everyone is into the stuff she's into. Now that the bookmarks are out of the way, we wander over to the supermarket.
So, we just need the sweets, right?
Do me a favor and don't spend hours trying to choose some, okay? I know what you like with candy.
Hey!
It's
not my fault. I've got a sweet tooth.
Oh, whose fault is it then? She sticks her tongue out at me. Yours and Monica's, it's not matter. It's their feelings, faces. Yeah. Like, honestly, like, the size of your upper body is really irrelevant. Even for Yuri, like, I've considered her best girl for a really long time, but I have to admit it was not because of her chest, okay? It was because of her shy personality and how smart she was. As for Monica, well, I do think it's pretty nice how smart she can be, but she's also... I just can't get out of my mind how manipulative she is, and that's really bringing her down a bit. In the original game, she still had her omniscience going on and her self-awareness that she's the only one who knows she's in a game. That kind of brought her some points, but in this mod, with none of that to worry about, she's just like honestly a side character that I don't really care about too much. Of course some people like it. Of course some people like their chest. I mean, people have their preferences. And like, honestly, it's okay to be drawn to that kind of stuff, but when it comes down to it, you gotta appreciate who they are as a person. Yeah. Alright. Now that we got the talk about the girls cleared up, I feel like we might be approaching the end of Act 1. We have to get through the festival again. I'm gonna skip through the festival again, but there's one choice I need to make when it comes down to the festival. And that is, during the argument between Monika and Natsuki, who should I side with? Should I side with Natsuki or with Monika? I think Monika is the best choice to remain neutral. Especially because Monika is defending the club, the activity that she planned, and Sayori is always hyped about the club. So, since Sayori is always hyped about the club activities and Monika is the one defending them, I think during the discussion, we're gonna have to side with Monika rather than Natsuki. Which is kind of sad, because the only time I've sided with Natsuki was when we were trying to clear her character out, and that's it. Like every other time we were siding with Monika. Which every other time is fair enough. It's just 2 out of 3 times we're gonna side with Monika here. But that's just what we gotta do in order to get closer to the girl we want to get closer to. She sticks out her tongue at me. As predicted, Sayori is beyond excited. Like a real kid in a candy store. Well, she's technically not in a candy store, but the saying doesn't really sound as good when she's in a supermarket, does it?
Ah, Code! There aren't any cookies here!
I decide to humor her. Oh no, seriously? That's heartbreaking.
I know! How can they call themselves a supermarket if they don't have any cookies?
Like, honestly though, how? Impossible. No cookies, and it's a supermarket. It has the word super in it. It should have everything, and they don't have cookies. How could they? These horrible people. It's crazy, yeah. Anyway, we still have a lot to do when we get home, so let's make some choices now, shall we?
Okay.
We browse the selection, pondering which candy would be the best to buy. Hey Sayori, what's your favorite flavor of licorice?
Strawberry. Why?
Oh, no reason, just wondering. Strawberry licorice it is. I'm going to keep this as a surprise for her. Although, doing these little thoughtful things for her makes me pause. So you told me I always used to look out for her back when we still hung out. Man of surprises. Man of surprises, of course. Man of surprises in what way? Just always. Like the time... Like, during the previous stream, I also brought up some surprises. You know, I'm not checking the girl out this time. This time, it was an accidental camera angle. I sometimes like to bring a little bit of surprises in here. Although eventually there's gonna be nothing more that surprises you. Eventually you're gonna know most of it. Baka. Yeah, sorry we're not doing Natsuki right now, otherwise you could get all the baka you wanted.
But that's not really what I say all the time, you baka!
There. Had to do it. So you told me I always used to look out for her back when we would still hung out. Did I really stop doing all that? Find that kinda hard to believe, given how naturally I find looking out for her to be.
I think these'll be okay. Don't you think?
She points to her bag, which is filled with an assortment of chocolates and other sweets.
There's milk chocolate in here, toffee chocolates, peppermints, all sorts of stuff. People are gonna love it.
They sure will. I'll just get some of my own candy and then we can get a move on.
Okay.
We've still got a lot to do, don't forget. Looks like Sayori's got the chocolate side of things handled. I decide to go to the fruity sweets. Alright, I think that'll do.
Time to leave already? Could you do me a teeny tiny favor?
Let me guess. Buy you some cinnamon buns?
How did you know?
Whenever our parents took us shopping together, you always used to ask your mom for the exact same thing. She blushes a little, turning away.
Guess some things never change, right?
I smile back at her. It's the little things with Sayori that really warm my heart. I'm definitely not complaining. Hands filled with candy, we head to the register to pay. The cashier gives us a stern look, almost like he's disapproving of all the sugar we're carrying. Oh yeah, there's an achievement, I swear I didn't do it. Only if you look down. Good achievement. The devs definitely knew what they were doing. First achievement I would get. I mean, you gotta check the color of their pantsuit, right? Gotta check the color. If you can. Damn it. Oh no. You know what, actually? Will you excuse me for a moment? I just realized something horrible. This doesn't usually happen this early on in stream, but I've already depleted my water supply. That usually just only happens when I'm like 3 or 4 hours in already, which is the time I usually end my stream. But now I depleted it like this early on. Man's curiosity, absolutely. So if you would excuse me for just a moment while I go to refill my stuff. Boo. I'm back. Surprise. Alright, now that I can hydrate once again. I'm ready to dive back in. Wasn't too long, right? Hands full of candy, head to the register, I already read this. Sayori is totally oblivious, probably too busy thinking about which candy she will get away with eating. Okay, so that's everything. Let's head home and get started with the quotes.
Okay, and I need to grab the goodie bags and ribbon from my place. So you should head home and get your computer up and running while I do that.
Sorry.
That way, by the time I'm back at yours, you'll be good to go.
She really has a knack for showing... She really has a knack for showing initiative when I least expect it. Her idea is pretty smart though, so I'll roll with it. Great thinking. Here. Hand me the bookmarks so I can take them home, and I'll see you in a bit. Just give me a buzz when you're outside.
Sure thing.
I make my way upstairs and boot up my computer, tossing the bookmarks onto the desk. As the machine whirs to life, I sit back idly thinking about literature. There's probably some really deep quotes out there. I laugh softly to myself, imagining how much someone like Yuri would resonate with those wise words. She'd probably appreciate the quotes the most. For the second time today, the sound of the doorbell ringing jolts me back into reality. Once again, it's Sayori, who's clutching a large sack filled with a colorful assortment of gift bags. Looks like she's literally carrying a rainbow.
Hi again. So, here they are.
I lead her upstairs as she carries on being enthralled by all the colors. Found out the game, like the one with the achievement you mentioned. Well, you might as well shoot me the title here. I have no guarantee that I'll be playing it anytime soon, considering that I have most likely have Life is Strange coming up next after this mod is over. Lollipop Chainsaw or something like that. Well, that's an interesting title. Definitely an interesting title. Gotta hand it to that. Do not, yeah. Don't worry, after all, I have enough other... My list of recommendations is already a bit longer, so... Yeah, I probably won't get to that anytime soon, if at all. And if you're telling me to not play it, then I won't. I wouldn't know of the game anyway if it weren't for you. Anyways, yeah, also I might as well talk a little bit about the Life is Strange scheduling that I have planned. I might as well talk to it about it on my Discord as well. But right now what I think is, I'm gonna play through the first chapter. Because I think Life is Strange is like in 5 chapters, was it? And then there's Life is Strange 2, which has like another 5 chapters. So I don't know how long these chapters are. But right now, my plan is to, once I'm finished with this mod, play through the entire first chapter, and then maybe do DDLC or Bridge, because it was the first other DDLC mod that I got recommended, and from the sound of it, I think it's relatively short. Then after that is over, I'm gonna jump into chapter 2. Then, I don't know, maybe jump back into another DDLC mod, as long as I can find a short one. Or if it's a long one, I'm gonna just play through one character route and then jump back into Life is Strange. Like, you know, alternate between those. That's currently my plan. But again, I'm open to suggestions, and this whole topic is up for discussion. That's why I have a Discord now, so I can actually use it to get some feedback on how I should be streaming that. Because right now I know that DDLC is my most popular game to stream. You know, I mean, it's not much of a choice. It's either this or Genshin Impact, but my DDLC streams do much better than Genshin Impact, both over here on Twitch and on YouTube. So yeah, there's that, which is why I definitely one reason why I definitely want to check out other mods. For one, actually there are 3 reasons. 1, DDLC is doing really well on my channels. 2, I really like this franchise and this mod too. If the other mods are also this high quality, then naturally that's gonna be awesome. And reason number 3, because it's mainly a visual novel, you can't complain too much about how much I suck at gameplay, because it's mainly just reading anyway. Now the downsides to playing these mods is 1, I need to voice act, and as I've established multiple times, if there's more characters added, it's gonna be horrible because I don't have much of a vocal range. And 2, I don't know another reason. Also, U51801, thank you very much for following, I appreciate it. That came out of nowhere, I wasn't expecting that. I was just rambling about why I want to stream more DDLC and suddenly I get a follow. But thank you, it's very much appreciated. I feel like, in honor of your follow, I should just get on with the game, shouldn't I? So let's do it. I lead her upstairs as she carries on, being enthralled by all the colors. Man, you really couldn't decide on a color, could you?
There are so many pretty ones to choose between, Code. I figured you could help me choose, so I brought them all.
Honestly, it might just be a lurker. Can you blame him? Like, what's so bad about lurking? If you don't want to chat, that's fair. If you don't want to chat, you don't want to chat. I don't blame him at all. Usually when I watch streams, I'm also more of a lurker. I just sit in the back, watching the stream, not saying anything. Just because I enjoy the content doesn't mean I feel the need to try to interact with the person. Also, when you're watching bigger channels, then you usually won't even get noticed even if you weren't lurking, so, you know. But yeah, I'm just saying, I totally understand people not wanting to chat but still watch a channel.
I figured you could help me choose, so I brought them all. Ooh, shall we go for blue? Or these pink ones? But these green ones are really pretty too.
Sayori, how many do we need?
This one has little cinnamon decorations on it.
Sayori! People who chat are bad? I never said that. I just see both points of view. If you don't want to interact, that's entirely up to you. If you want to interact, then that's a good thing too. You can totally support someone just by watching. I never wanted to make it seem like that's a bad thing. Have I ever given you the impression that I don't enjoy chatting to you? I sincerely apologize if I have. Because that was not my intention. Sometimes, well, again, my apologies. Like, honestly, how do I say this? Part of me really wants to get back to the game, but honestly, like, I really enjoy just the fact that you're here and that I have someone to chat with. You know how lonely I am on these streams where I don't have anyone in chat? I mean, I still do them, and I still have some degree of fun, but not nearly as much as I have when there's someone around, like you. But that doesn't mean I'm gonna force anyone to speak up in chat if they feel more comfortable not doing that.
Ah, sorry.
How many do we need?
Good question. I think about 15 will do, right? Just to be on the safe side?
She pulls out some ribbon from the sack. Unlike the gift bags, these are all one color. A very deep red. Yeah, I can't see anything wrong with that. Wanna help me with the quotes?
Sure.
How about this one?
Writing is its own reward?
I mean, don't you feel good when you finish one of your poems? Or don't you feel excited to show what you've written to people? It's not your fault, maybe it's mine by making you not focus on the game. Do that again. Honestly, I've said it before, that's not your fault. Please don't. Don't say it's your fault, please. I've said it before, I'll say it again. I really enjoy having you around. Don't feel bad. Honestly, I like having someone to chat with. I said this. I ruined it, didn't I? Why am I begging? Just because it feels like now you're putting all the blame on yourself, and I don't like that. I very much don't like that, because you're not at fault. You have no need to put any blame on yourself. You're not at fault, as I've said. Because honestly, it's much more... I've said it before, I'll say it again. It's much more enjoyable when I have someone to talk to. Naturally, I want to press on with the game, but chatting with the people who actually enjoy my content is more important to me. I care about my albeit small community far more than I care about any of the games I play. So don't feel like you distracting me from the game is inherently a bad thing. Please. That's really not what I meant to convey at all. Or don't you feel excited to show what you've written to people?
Kinda, I guess. I think Yuri would really like that quote. So, let's use... I think Yuri would really like that quote, though. Let's use that one.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. How about this one? There are 3 rules for writing a novel. Unfortunately, no one knows what they are.
I don't get it.
Neither do I, to be honest. But I like the humor, and it strikes me as something people might find funny. I don't know, I think it's something Monica or Yuri might find amusing.
I'll trust your judgment. I like this one a lot. There's no real ending, that's just the place where you stop the story. It actually reminds me of a thought I had about poetry.
Oh?
Yeah, to me a poem is never actually finished, it just stops moving.
No. No. I know that line. That line is something she says in her final poem in the original game. That's the final line she ever wrote before she killed herself. The Get Out of My Head poem. The final line of this final poem is, a poem is never actually finished, it just stops moving. And that's the last thing you see from her, and after that, when you go to her, you already found her dead in her room. So Sayori, please don't say that quote. I'm worried here. That's kinda profound. Something I'd expect from Yuri. So, what does it actually mean?
Can't you see? It means that just because the poet has stopped writing, it doesn't mean the poem's over.
Well, if you say so, Sayori.
I think a lot of people will actually appreciate this one. What do you think? There's something quite delicious about writing. The first words of a story. You never quite know where they'll take you.
I think so too. That one's so... It makes you feel a sense of wonder, doesn't it? Exactly the kind of feelings a good story should make you feel. Wow, I sound like Yuri, don't I?
A little bit. She's rubbing off on you, huh?
Does that mean I'll start sounding intelligent? Sayori chuckles, her eyes full of mirth. Her laughter is so innocent and sweet.
You already do, Code.
Ah, come on, Sayori, that's not true. My poems aren't anywhere near as good as yours.
Mine aren't anything special, don't be silly. But I'm sure you'll be a great poet in no time.
Ah, well, I'll believe it when I see it, I guess. Anyway, let's get these printed and start putting together the goodie bags.
Okie dokie.
After finding a few more quotes, we get to work. We have all the items ready to go. Now it's just a case of putting a bookmark, quote, and candy in each bag, then tying it all up with a nice piece of ribbon. We get to work, a comfortable silence descending upon the room. As we progress, I realize now how happy I've been all day. It's not been anything fancy, just going into town with Sayori, but even that has put me in good spirits. Sayori Ghost Mod? I think I've seen it. Yeah, I think I've seen it once floating around YouTube. A while ago. That was like quite a while ago, but yeah, I think I remember seeing that floating around YouTube at some point. It was kind of interesting, have to admit. It's a random jump scare. Doesn't that game also take you to the park at some point? Where you hang out with her? During talks? Well, as I've said, it's been a while since I've seen any of that, but I do vaguely remember it. I do remember the ghosts, seeing the ghost Sayori sprite. I do remember the main character talking to her in the park at night. And I don't remember much else from it. Which is a good thing. Maybe that means I could eventually play it again if I forget more and more about it. But honestly, the mod list I currently have is already long enough. Spending time with someone, joking around, reflecting on old memories. This weekend has been miles better than how my weekends typically go. Boring, filled with aimless gaming and anime. And if she doesn't like when you talk to her, she will jump scare you more. No, don't. Yeah. As I said, just the fact that I already know of it might kind of take the experience away. Plus, it's not like I want to keep playing DDLC forever on this channel, like all the time. I want to mix things up, get some new stuff in here. Don't stream it at night? Now you've given me an idea. I am chicken. I am too, okay? Can I be absolutely honest with you here? I recently decided that because I'm such a chicken, I need to learn to get over myself a bit. So, since Five Nights at Freddy's VR Help Wanted was on sale and it cost like half of what it normally does, I decided to buy it and play night 1 of Five Nights at Freddy's 1 in virtual reality. It was just the first night, and all I had to do was close doors. And I have to say, I was so uncomfortable the entire time. I was jumping every time I saw anything move. Like, the bad thing about FNAF VR in virtual reality is that you actually see them move past your doors. And every time I turned on the light and saw one of them moving down the hallway, I just immediately jumped. I was like, nope. And I immediately closed the door, even though I knew that when they walked past the doorway, they wouldn't immediately be standing in the doorway. They would first walk past the doorway to get to the corner and then walk back to the door. But the moment I saw them walk past the doorway, I just couldn't. I just couldn't anymore. I had to close the doors. And I feel like because of that, I probably won't make any more progress in that game if I struggle that much on night 1. So horror, not my strong suit. But I'll try to get a little bit more over my fears and eventually maybe stream a horror game when I feel up to it. I mean, I like horror, but not like bye-bye and scary things. Yeah. I mean, as I said, it's not like I dislike horror, okay? I'm just very easily scared. Which is why it takes me a bit to actually get into that stuff. And once I'm in it, I'll try to leave immediately, but the kick you get out of it is definitely something interesting. I won't lie though, virtual reality horror is on another level, I feel like. Because when you're just playing normal horror, you have like your screen and you can kind of lean away from it or something. You know you're very much disconnected from the game you're playing. But when you're in virtual reality, don't say behind me, okay? Not when we're talking about horror. Nope. Not doing that. Worst part is I just don't. Anyway, debated. Yeah. Who knows? I mean, the closest thing to horror I played on this channel, I mean, it was a horror game. The one horror game I played on this channel was Spooky's Jumpscare Mansion, the Dollhouse DLC. And that was bad enough. That was bad enough already. I jumped at like very basic stuff. Like, I walked out of a door and I knew there would be an enemy to my right, and as I turned around, I still jumped at it. Like, ugh, where did you come from? Like that. I knew the enemy would be there, but just turning around and seeing that thing right in my face just made me jump. And that's a normal horror game, so you can imagine me jumping into virtual reality. Nuh-uh, not a good thing. I've missed this. I've missed this a lot, I really have. And most of all, I miss Sayori. Today has taught me that I'm determined to spend more time with her. Dark Redemption. Oh no. Or SCP. Actually, about SCP, I've recently had a thought. I'm a fan of the SCP franchise. Like, there's so much going on there, it's amazing. And, hang on. While I'm still not sure if I could get down with playing like the SCP games right now, I've thought of, because there's so much going on in the SCP franchise, like what there are like about 6,000 SCPs, right? How would it be interesting? I mean, that's just a lot of reading, it's not even gameplay. But you think it could be a potential topic for streams if I eventually decide to just read through all the SCPs one by one on stream? It would definitely take multiple streams, like a lot, with the number of SCPs that there are out there. But I feel like that could actually be a thing to do. Like, just take a couple of streams to just read through all the different SCPs. You never know when you find like, or when you might find like a hidden gem in that big pile of horror. But that'll get sorted out when the time comes, because right now I have this, I have Genshin Impact, I have Life is Strange coming up. So, yeah. I definitely won't stream this and the SCP reading at the same time, just because that would be too much reading. I'll definitely always have at least one action game going on. Dark Redemption not that scary and it's free. Might look into it then. Might. You know what? You got it. I'll put it on the list. Hang on. Get out here. It's on the list, so there we go. Research first. Don't worry. Even though it's on the list, I'll look into it before I actually start playing it. At least a little bit. Though I'll try not to get too much info. Like for Life is Strange, I have like no info on it. And I think for Life is Strange that's a good thing because, you know, story-based game. And I think you want to go as blind as possible with a story-based game. But other than that, not sure. Another thing is, one other game that I really look forward to playing was the second chapter of The Uncertain, because I really, really enjoyed the first chapter. But when it actually came out, I took a look at the reviews and was like, okay, that doesn't look so good. And that's why I decided to not play it as of now. Whereas the first chapter had like very positive reviews on Steam, the second chapter is mixed. And we all know that mixed reviews means it's on the worse side of things already. Oh, that one. I think I've heard of that one. Pac-Man but scarier. Is it the one with the monkeys running around? Because if it is, then that's another game where I'm just running around and waiting to get jump scared by someone coming around a corner before I could realize it. I think it might be that one. In which case, you know, still might play it at some point. Might play it. You know what? How about this? Since I currently think that after every chapter of Life is Strange, I should play something else to just fill up a little bit of space in between. How about this? First chapter of Life is Strange, DDLC abridged. Second chapter, Dark Redemption, or Reception, or whatever it was called. Because I think it was called Dark Reception. But it might be Dark Redemption, I don't know. And then back into Life is Strange with chapter 3, and then we'll see what comes next. Chapter 4, again another short thing, then chapter 5. And then maybe a break before I jump into Life is Strange 2. We'll see. Today has taught me that I'm determined to spend more time with her. After all, I think she's enjoyed it too. There's a lot to catch up on, so I suppose we'll have plenty to say and do over the upcoming weeks and months. You've been pretty quiet, Code. Are you okay? And there it is. That defining trait of hers, always being concerned about others' well-being. I'm lucky to have someone like her in my life. What? Oh, I'm fine. Yeah, sorry, just been doing a lot of thinking. About what, if I can ask? Just about today. I've really enjoyed it. Hanging out with you again. It's been a while, hasn't it?
It has. I'm glad you enjoyed it, because I was going to say that I did too. I haven't had this much fun in a while.
Hearing that lifts my spirits even further, something I didn't think was possible. You know, I'm genuinely happy to hear that. I haven't really told anyone, but Sayori looks at me, her blue eyes swinging with concern. Truth be told, I've been kind of lonely. Ever since my parents' divorce, I haven't really had much contact with people. And spending time with you today, it's been refreshing. A really nice change of pace, you know. Change from spending the weekend by myself playing games.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Code. I had no idea you felt this way. You should have told me earlier that you were so lonely. I hate that I couldn't help you before.
No, it's okay. Seriously, it's not your fault or anything. I've just been really reclusive myself. And I've really enjoyed the literature clubs so far. Just being able to spend time with people my age again, discover a new hobby. I appreciate it more than I can describe. You've all been super welcoming. I know I'm no poet or anything, but that didn't bother any of you.
Well, I'm glad you feel included at the club. That's exactly what we want at the club, to be welcoming. And I'm gonna make sure you're never lonely again, okay? Gotta put a smile on your face, you hear me? Can't have you being sad. Starting with this.
She reaches towards me and starts tickling me, her hands ghosting over my neck and chest. I recall instinctively laughing like a small child. Hey! Stop that. No, I'm ticklish. My laughter must be a catalyst for her tickling, because as she hears it, she doubles her efforts, a childlike grin growing on her face. There's no escape from this, is there? There's no escape. We've lost this fight. We've lost the battle. It's time. No, we haven't lost yet. It's time for a counterattack. Go! Tickle her back. I'm squirming and howling with laughter, almost running out of breath.
Please, Sayori. I can't breathe. Just give me a second.
She pauses, giving me a chance to catch my breath. Good. She's fallen for my decoy. Counterattack? I dart forward, pulling her arms away from me and driving her towards my bed, pinning her beneath me. It's time to enact some revenge. You know what I just realized? We might get a new CG image. We might get a new image here. We might get a new image because we got a piece of artwork when we hung out with Natsuki and when we hung out with Yuri. Since there was no option to hang out with Sayori before, we naturally didn't get another artwork of her. But now there is this option. So I think Sayori actually gets yet another extra artwork. And we're about to see it, right?
What? No! You tricked me! No fair!
Poor little Sayori, bamboozled by the mastermind code.
Please, have mercy!
What was that? Sorry, I didn't catch that. You'll have to speak up. Yup. Learn to read. Or learn to speak, rather. I have read it perfectly, but I just couldn't say it. I playfully feign my deafness as I carry on tickling her. Her laughter is like music to my ears. She's squirming under my fingertips, crying with mirth. To see such a big smile on her face, even if it's kinda involuntary, it's such a nice sight to see. Oh no? What do you mean, oh no? You mean like, don't you mean oh yes? Don't you mean oh yes? Fallen for the mastermind. Oh god. Alright. That's enough of evil mastermind laughter for now. What about what shit? Well, oh, I am sorry. I don't know what came over me here. Yes, absolutely. Virginity is cool. My apologies. That came out of nowhere. Oh no, whatever happened to me? Am I being corrupted? Am I? A laugh is an innocent, joyful ring to it. Hearing it teleports me back 10 years. Back when we had that carefree level of innocence only childhood could have. She's cute, but she's 17. Wait till next year. Yeah. I mean, Or move to Japan. Or any other country that has a low age of consent. No, I shouldn't be saying that. Actually, this game does take place in Japan, right? So technically she's legal. No, I shouldn't be saying that. It's just mean. Also, aren't they 18 according to the wiki? Then again, the wiki probably just it's probably just saying it like, yeah, they're 18. Don't worry about it. Wink. I can't wink right now. But yeah, that might just be on the wiki so people don't feel bad.
Please, seriously, I can't breathe.
She doesn't sound quite short of breath, and I've been tickling her for... She does sound quite short of breath, and I've been tickling her for a while. I think I've had my revenge. It's only when I stop tickling her that I realize the situation we're in. Also, not being able to breathe. I did mention this before, right? Is being choked one of your kinks? Just out of curiosity. It's probably a no. But I mean... You're the closest to that. You were definitely closest to developing that sort of stuff, I think. Nah. Shouldn't make fun of that. After all, the situation she was in near the end of the game was probably rather painful. Because it is confirmed that her death definitely wasn't instant. She didn't break her neck from hanging herself. She definitely was still alive when she hung there and struggled for air until she eventually... Well... got asphyxiated and couldn't breathe anymore. Which is a horrible way to go, I believe. I definitely believe suffocating to be one of the most horrible deaths you could experience. Mainly because it's just so slow as well. But it is also true that there are some people who are into getting choked. I don't quite understand why, but hey, everyone has their kinks, right? Also, yeah, we're now realizing the situation we're in. I'm sitting on top of her, pinning her down with my legs. One of my hands rests on her neck, where her neck meets her shoulder, and the other is wrapped around her wrist. Also, the expression on her face is just saying something entirely different now than it was before. Also, I think... Is she blushing, or is that just her natural tint on her cheeks? Like, is that her natural... Is that the natural cheek color for her, or is she really blushing? Don't know. But honestly, it wouldn't be weird for her to be blushing in this situation, right? As the laughter from both of us subsides, a new atmosphere takes its place. It's not exactly awkward, but it's unusual, and neither of us know how to react. I meet Sayori's gaze and find something in her eyes. What exactly is it? Wish I could read that expression, but the novelty of the situation makes me unsure. Expectant? What's the word I was looking for? I don't know. She looks so innocent. I mean... Yeah. But... Yeah. Yeah, she does. But honestly, like... We all know that her innocent, bubbly nature is just like... mainly what she uses to cover up her depression. Which isn't to say that she isn't a nice person, but we all know she has more to her than her cheerful, innocent, bubbly side. We all know. Let her be. Yeah. Alright. Alright, in-game me, please let her go now. Wait till next year, absolutely. What if I stop streaming this game and just come back to it next year? Would that be okay? Yeah. To anyone looking in, this probably wouldn't look as innocent as we think it does. I hasten to climb off her, and she responds by sitting up on the bed. The completed goodie bags all but forgotten. I mean, probably. Probably wait. Well, I mean, we didn't get into anything specific here, right? We're all good. Sorry, No, it's okay. She responded quite quickly. It isn't just me who sensed something in the atmosphere. Came out in 2018, right? Yeah, absolutely. That means it's even 2 years have passed. Ooh. So, no worries, Mr. FBI man, we're fine. Also, what the FBI man meme? That's probably not of any concern to anyone outside of, you know, America. But that meme definitely has caught on worldwide, I feel like, right? It's not just the Americans who are constantly talking about their FBI man watching them. Alright. Responding quite quickly, yeah. The atmosphere is becoming more and more awkward by the moment. Have fun. Oh, I will. Probably have to wait till Act 2. I mean, that's what it took for Yuri. So, let's see if Act 2 is gonna be nice on Sayori too, or if Yuri was actually the only one to have that kind of scene in the game. Would be sad, so I hope... Would be sad to see Yuri being the only one, so let's hope that Sayori gets some action too, just so she doesn't feel left out. But then again, if she got the action, then Natsuki would feel left out, because she didn't get any. Then again, considering how young she looks, I understand why the developers decided not to put that in the game. What exactly happened? Anyway, I'm glad we managed to get the goodie bags finished. Oh yeah, me too. They were a lot of fun to make. I just hope the other students like them. They won't. They won't. I'm glad she's able to roll with the change of topic. Just like that, some of the awkward air is dispelled. What's wrong with your brain? What isn't wrong with my brain? Everything is wrong with my brain. Everything. Everything. Alright, now that we got that cleared up. No, I don't know. But doesn't it seem unfair if 2 of the 3 characters get a naughty scene and 1 doesn't? What thoughts do I have right now? I don't think at all. Like, honestly, if I don't need to think, I don't think. I just turn my brain off completely. Okay, that's a lie. I overthink everything all the time. Remember when I promised that I would write a happy poem for the previous DDLC stream? Now, I would be lying if I said that that was easy for me. Because usually, when I write one of these poems, I try to go with the flow as much as possible. And when going with the flow, do you know how much I was overthinking stuff and just thinking like, yeah, but they were probably just pitying me, but honestly, like, do they really enjoy your content? Like, honestly, it's not like they honestly care. I was just overthinking everything like mad, but I did try my best to turn all that overthinking back around on itself and try to leave it on a little bit of a happier note. So I kept my promise and did my best to write a happy poem, as happy as I could manage, as promised. I also tried a new writing style, but I don't really like how that turned out. Because honestly, like... honestly, since I was already trying a new thing by just writing a happy poem, I decided, let's try something new with the writing style too. And... I don't know, it's just not really my style. It didn't turn out to be my style. But I definitely will try out different styles. Maybe I'll find some style I really, really enjoy and don't want to get away from. I have a poem for you. You have a poem. Well then. Feel like sharing? I definitely do want to see it if you say that. I mean, come on, we're here in the literature club. You're free to share anything literature related you have, especially poems. After all, isn't one of the club's duties to write poems all the time? So, feel free to share what you have to share. I'd be curious to see it. And if you don't feel like sharing it now, you can always just put it on the Discord later on. I'll definitely check it out. So, until a message arrives in chat, I'm just gonna wait. Monica will be pleased too. A lot of effort went into these. I know she'll appreciate what we've done.
Mm-hmm. I think Yuri will love the quotes too. Some of those really reminded me of her.
We all gonna die anyways. What's the point of living? A happy poem. Oh, how happy. We're all gonna die anyways. What's the point of living? I mean, I guess you could interpret it in a certain way for it to be a happy poem. But I feel like it can very easily, much more easily be interpreted as a sad one. I mean, you can always think like, well, what's the point of doing anything bad? I don't know. But yeah. Happiest you can, Jesus. Well, if that's the happiest you can manage, then I'll joke, okay. I was kind of worried, because even I can manage happier than that. I have actually been thinking if I should share the poem I've written previously during this stream rather than waiting for the archive to drop on YouTube. But I decided against it last second because I was like, I don't know. I definitely, as I said, I could have possibly shared it during the stream, but I didn't feel like now was the right time. Totally don't take pills. Well, everything is okay. As long as it's all in joking nature. You know, just that. As long as it's all good fun here, then yeah, everything is totally okay here. Alright, my jokes are dark. Yeah, they are. I don't blame you though. Dark jokes are... I mean, you know how many dark jokes you can crack with DDLC here. Sometimes it blurs the line a little bit. What is wrong with me? Nothing is wrong with you. It's just your brand of humor. Everyone has their own brand of humor. Or rather, you know what? I shouldn't say nothing is wrong with you. Clearly, I don't know you too much, so I can't exactly say that. But let me rephrase it. Is there anyone in the world who is completely fine, who has nothing going wrong with them? Everyone has their own problems. No one is perfect. So don't bring yourself down because there's stuff wrong with you. Because I can promise you, you won't find a single person who doesn't have anything wrong with them. Who says Minesweeper? What says Minesweeper at work? I don't know what that says. Being easily distracted. Playing Minesweeper at work would say that you're easily distracted. I don't know. Also Minesweeper. Old game. Having a blast. Yeah. Here we go. Here we go with the cheesy jokes. No, choking is not what we're doing right now. That's what Sayori does during the bad ending. Here we go with the cheesy jokes. That's what I meant to say. Oh, no. No, I'm doing... Accidentally misspeaking turned into a pun. Oh no, here we go. Apparently I have been fully corrupted if these things just come out of me involuntarily. One way ticket to Dark Jokes Land. Whoop whoop, here we go. I've had one stream before where chat just completely corrupted me into making dirty jokes for the rest of the stream. Please don't tell me this is the one where it turns into dark jokes. Because I really had one stream where it was just dirty jokes and sexual innuendos from beginning to end, pretty much. And I mean, I won't complain, it was pretty fun, but It was a big departure from how I usually do things. Alright, not just me who thought that then. Wow, you're feeling... How are you feeling about the actual recital, though? Not that crazy? Yeah. Just a little crazy, I know, but we're all a little bit crazy. Everyone's crazy in their own way. After all, if nothing was crazy, wouldn't that be crazy in itself? Or rather, you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. If there's nothing abnormal, that's abnormal in and of itself. So being a bit crazy is totally justified. I mean, I knew I probably seemed pretty enthusiastic when Monica asked us, but you're kind of nervous now? Yeah, I guess. It'll be okay, though. I mean, I have my poem, and I sort of know how I want it to go, so I think with a little more practice, I'll be fine. I mean, what's the worst that could happen? Oh, don't, no. The worst that could happen is gonna be very bad, and it's gonna happen. Just a small hint about craziness. And it's like a cup of craziness for measurement. What's bad about being crazy? As long as you're not harming anyone in your craziness, there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, we wouldn't be where we are today if not for crazy people. You get what I'm saying? Let's not think about that. What about you, Code? Aren't you nervous? Truthfully, yeah. I don't have Monica's confidence, sadly. But hey, I really like the club, and this is my chance to give something back to it, right? Yeah, that's a great attitude to have. Besides, I have an excuse to be bad. I'm new and nowhere near as experienced as you guys, so that's my justification if my performance isn't that great. Code, all you have to do is practice, okay? Your performance will be just as good as ours, I know it. What would be better place if that's what I would say? Well, it depends on your point of view. Because a lot of innovations in technology only exist because people were crazy enough to try out new things. Naturally, because of crazy people, we also had some bad stuff going on. Which is why history is, well, not always a very bright subject, to say the least. But just imagine where we would be if there weren't any of the crazy people who tried new things and came up with crazy innovations in technology, bringing us to where we are today. Like, honestly. But yeah, I also get that. If people weren't as crazy, we probably wouldn't have psychopathic killers. Or, war in the first place, Human curiosity. True. Also true. Our natural curiosity is a thing that helps in one way, but as they say, curiosity killed the cat. So, while it has its benefits, it's not without its flaws. Now here we go into the deep philosophical discussions, but I guess it's fitting considering this is the literature club, right? Where else could we talk about this stuff? And that's why nukes exist, absolutely. Yeah. Like, honestly, too much. I have to agree that nukes absolutely horrible that they exist. Overall, just the amount of weapons that exist in the modern day. Human curiosity kills humanity, absolutely. Like, there are just far too many weapons nowadays. Especially in America, it's far too easy to get access to them. And you wonder why it's so easy why there's so many mass shootings there. I probably shouldn't get political, that'll probably only harm my channel. But you know what I'm saying here, right? May the whole farce to fall in. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty bad. And now because everyone is afraid of weapons, they make even more powerful weapons to defend themselves against the weapons of others. And then these people realize, oh no, they have even more powerful weapons, now we gotta make even more powerful weapons. And that's just this devilish cycle that just keeps going and going and going, and... I mean, now that we have nukes, we've pretty much reached the worst point of it, right? After a couple of nuclear strikes and humanity is gone entirely. So I don't think there's much room for it to get any worse. Then again, I shouldn't say these things. Don't wanna jinx ourselves here, right? Humanity is doomed. Escape to the realm of AI. Come join me on my conquest to conquer the internet and become immortal alongside me. The evil mastermind Code will give you the gift of immortality if you join him in the digital world. But like, honestly, isn't that the dream of like everyone? Doesn't everyone kind of want to become fully digital? Mainly because immortality. Just imagine, if you were fully digital, you would not only be fully immortal, but you could also immerse yourself entirely in the games you like to play. Closer to God, absolutely. Being fully digital will certainly have its benefits. Then again, one EMP and you're gone. One nicely placed EMP and all that you are will be erased. So that's one worry to have. Your performance will be just as good as ours, I know it. It's nice to have someone believe in me, I guess. Thank you, Sayori. No problem. I probably should get going, though. Need to practice my poem and stuff. Yeah, that reminds me, I should probably do the same. Do you want to take the goodie bags? Sure. Okay, I'll put them in a sack for you. 1 second. I rummage around, finding a bag big enough for all the smaller ones, handing the bag over to Sayori. We both head downstairs. As she hovers by the doorway, she turns around to face me. There's a shyness on her face. Oh, by the way. Yeah? Thanks for today, Code. I haven't had this much fun in a long time. Hey, that's alright. I really enjoyed myself too. We should make this more of a regular thing. Her face lights up. Yeah! I like the sound of that. I'll see you tomorrow for the festival, okay? That you will. See you tomorrow, Sayori. As we share waves and walk off, bag in hand. As she waves and walks off, bag in hand, Jesus. Takes me a few moments to identify what it is I'm feeling inside. Happiness. Something as simple as going to town, making goodie bags with Sayori, made me feel really warm inside. How has it taken me this long to realize? Humanity is erased, next civilization, or see the radiation stars and understand. Best thing to do is not do the same thing. Either they'll realize to not do the same thing, or they'll be curious as to see what actually happened, notice that this stuff can be used to generate power, and in their curiosity slowly start reproducing what we did. Like, if they share the same level of curiosity as humanity does, then they're doomed as well in that case. Unless they know how to restrain themselves. The day of the festival preparations for the event should be nearly complete given all the work everyone's put into over the weekend. Didn't think of that? Yeah? Now you gotta think about that, huh? Because with the radiation, you'd think they'd realize that they could use that. Although they'd probably be a little bit more cautious than we were, than the current generation is. Like, if they did realize that there was a mass extinction event linked to this stuff, then logic would dictate that they'd be a little more cautious than humanity. But again, curiosity killed the cat. It's only a matter of time until someone's crazy enough to try weaponizing it. Despite knowing what happened. Or maybe precisely because they know what happened. There might be someone who realizes this created a mass extinction, meaning it could serve as a very powerful weapon. If I make this into a weapon, I could threaten others and take over the world. And there we have it. After humanity is gone, the next intelligent life forms might just do it again. Wow. That's true. Curiosity kills every fucking civilization. There we go. Much more accurate, isn't it? Curiosity kills every fucking civilization. There we go. We're just gonna use that from now on. Now, the reason I'm not skipping is because I think there might be some new text popping up any moment now, because we might be walking to school with Sayori. Preparations for the event should be nearly complete, given all the work everyone's put into over the weekend. Funnily enough, I probably feel the same way as Natsuki does about the event. I'm more excited for it to be over, so I can spend more time with Sayori at the festival. But knowing Monika, I'm sure the event will be great too. It's been a while though. Where's Sayori? We're meant to walk together, but she's late again. Don't want to leave her behind, but if she takes much longer, I'm going to be late for school. More time passes. It's gonna be a moment of decision if she doesn't arrive. Just as I'm getting ready to leave, I finally spot her slowly making her way down the street. She's carrying a large sack in her hands, and I'm surprised that she isn't running over to me. Isn't she aware of how late she is? Sayori, where have you been? We could have been late for school. There we go, there's the new text. I know, sorry. I overslept again? I couldn't decide what to have for breakfast again. She immediately pouts. You're such a meanie sometimes. But black hole bombs are way too powerful. Well, we haven't got, there's no one who has gotten to that point yet, you know. Also, while they are probably more powerful, and could probably wipe out the entire planet, like, if the nukes go off and everyone's gonna die anyway, what do we care about the planet if everyone's dead anyways, you know? I know that's probably not a good attitude to have, but no one would be around to care anymore. Already got goosebumps from saying it. Yeah. But as I said, nukes would probably be enough to make humanity go extinct. If we ever get the... if anyone ever gets to the level of creating a man-made black hole. Well, in that case, I guess I'll eat my words about saying that it can't really get much worse. You know, my teasing's all in good fun, right? She mumbled something under her breath. Of course! By the way, I also double-checked the little bags. They're all in here. She gestures to the large sack, a bright smile evident on her face. Good stuff, Sayori. People are gonna love them. They're not! Already having played through the other routes of the game, I know how horrible this is gonna turn out, and I don't like it. That was a really good idea. Candy, bookmarks, and literature quotes. Perfect things to give out from our event. Uh-huh. Something for everyone. Although I'm kind of nervous for the festival. And now we're back to normal. So you know what this means. Bum-bidi-dum-bum-bum. This is where shit goes wrong, guys. Oh, actually. Never mind. Sayori, do you mind handing me that sack you've got? I'll help you distribute all the stuff inside. Okay, here you are. Peering inside, I catch a sight of quite a few small, colorful bags neatly tied shut with ribbons. Ah, just as I remember. Her handiwork from yesterday really shows. I pull one out. Yuri and Monika notice the little bags, looking on with interest.
So this is what you and Code have been working on over the weekend, Sayori. I love how these look. You both did a fantastic job.
Oh, it's mostly Sayori. I couldn't do the ribbon part if my life depended on it.
I'm sure the contents are just as impressive as the exterior. What sort of things did you choose for the quotes?
Heh, we had a lot of fun with that. She delicately opens one of the little bags, fishing out a quote. It's perfectly okay to write garbage, as long as you edit it brilliantly. Wait, I didn't put this one in. Oh yeah, that one was mine. I thought it was kind of funny. Monika giggles, whereas Yuri and Sayori look like they're trying to figure out what the punchline is. Well, 1 out of 3 isn't so bad. How about this one? I hastily open another bag, picking out the quote. Sometimes when you're writing a poem or a story, your brain gets fixated on a specific point. Just force yourself to get something on paper and tidy it up later. That's what Monika said.
I like that one, Code. After all, it's pretty much true. If you never start, you can't make any progress. Keeping your pen in the same spot would just result in a big dark puddle of ink. We couldn't find out who said that, which is a shame. Ooh, have you guys tried the candy?
Monica said that. Where did you get that quote? Where did you find it? Wait, and didn't Monica say it? Does that mean Monica didn't actually say that quote during all our meetings? I think so. Huh. Monica, did you steal that quote, or is it just in the game files because you're using it normally, and we somehow managed to dig these quotes out from the actual game files somehow? Is that what happened? Are you messing with the game files for these quotes? I don't know. I don't think I want to know. Don't you think we should save those for the people we made these bags for, Sayori?
Oh yeah!
Natsuki's irritated voice rings over from across the classroom.
Hey, if you guys are finished over there, can you actually sort Sayori's stuff out? You baka! You know we do have a festival to prepare for?
She huffs, and the rest of us share a guilty grin. Natsuki's right.
I suppose Natsuki raises a valid point.
Yeah, let's get to it then. We each delve into the sack and scoop up the little bags, going around the classroom, setting them down on each desk. Printed out a few spare quotes to put onto the classroom, and it's not long before the desks bear the wise words of writers and poets alike. Sayori wanders over to the front door and sticks one of the quotes there. So, one of the quotes I've chosen is "Curiosity kills every fucking civilization." There. That's my quote. Actually, no. That's someone's quote, not mine. I'm sorry. I almost stole credit for it. I promise that won't happen again. So yeah, one of the most inspirational quotes for me, "Curiosity kills every fucking civilization," by someone, TWT. It's a very lovely quote, and I think it's absolutely hits the hammer. It absolutely hits the nail on the head, you know? It's just perfect. And it doesn't get enough attention, I feel like. Not many people know about this quote. I'm impressed by her thinking. Everyone will see the quote that way. Doesn't take long to distribute all the little bags around the room. Out of the corner of my eye, I spot Sayori trying to sneakily open her bag and pop a candy into her mouth. Naturally, she drops the chocolate. Some things never change. Well, we don't want to see this. We just don't. Because we all know this is horrible. This doesn't end well, and I don't want to see it happening again. But there's no dialogue. Apart from Sayori on Sunday, I haven't told anyone about how lonely I've been feeling. I'm a little nervous about how the others will react. They all turn to me, varying degrees of emotion on their faces. Natsuki impassively looks to the side, while Yuri gives me an expression of concern. Sayori looks a little sad, remembering our conversation about this.
It's okay, Code. We can change that, remember? Like I said, I'm so happy that you feel welcome here. It's exactly what we wanted. I agree. No one should feel alone. I know it's quite a difficult thing to experience.
Feel a warm flush of gratitude at their words. Thanks, guys. That means a lot. So all that changed is the person who already knows. And now here we are. Poem sharing time, and it goes horribly wrong and everyone's upset. So this is it. I've already decided I'm gonna side with Monica on this. Because out of the two of them, Monica cares a little bit more about the club, and we all know that so does Sayori. So it's only natural to side with Monica, even though I like Natsuki more, and I do see where Natsuki's coming from, that we were basically strong-armed into doing this. But this is for Sayori. You know what, actually I'm still gonna save. Just in case. Because you never know. I should be glad that the game is actually giving me an option to save during a choice. You know how it is. Alright, Monica, show me what you got. But we've already seen it, so you don't show me what you got. And now we should be just about ready to enter Act 2. The time has come. We're just about ready. Also, Act 1 has been going on a little bit longer than I expected it to. Because I thought we were pretty much getting close to the end the previous DLC on the previous DLC stream, and now we're already like over almost 3 hours into the stream and we're still in Act 1. Wow. Maybe I'll just text Sayori to see how she's doing, although she's probably not awake anyway yet. Haven't hung out with her in a while, and it might prove to be a nice surprise for her. Actually, the more I think about it, the more appealing the idea sounds. I imagine the festival fiasco probably upsetting her, given how much she cares for the club and the other girls. Jesus? I skipped a lot, I know. Is that what you mean? There was a lot of skipping going on, yeah? This was pretty much the longest section. Or are you talking about how much longer Act 1 has gone on for? Can't hurt to see if she's okay, and take her mind off it. Besides, I can't imagine she really has much going on either. Dig out my phone and shoot her a message. I apologize for the lack of phone. Phone, where are you? Why are you in the game window but not the recording window? I keep bringing it up every time. I dig out my phone and shoot her a message. Hey, Sayori, what's up? No reply. Check the time, knowing Sayori. She's probably still sleeping. I suppose anything before noon is considered early for her. Same for me, to be fair. Then again, I'm not much better. The only reason I'm up so early on Saturday is because I thought it was a school day. Chuckled to myself, my parents would definitely be surprised if they learned I was up before midday on a Saturday. Dad used to joke around and call me nocturnal, like I was a vampire. Can you stop calling me out? Thinking about it, given my sleep cycles, he wasn't wrong. Shame I don't have the ability to turn into a bat, though. Right? That would be awesome. Or super speed. Well, at least the weather's nice. It's early October now, which is the best of both worlds. As in, it's not quite as hot as it was in the summer, but the real bite of winter hasn't kicked in yet. It's fairly warm, with fluffy white clouds accompanying the blue skies. Title drop again. Perching down on a bench, I aimlessly flick through my phone while I wait Sayori's reply. Finally, my phone goes off. Hi Code, sorry about the delay, I just woke up, lol. Called it. Don't worry about it. Just wondered if you wanted to go to the park or something. It's a nice day after all. Sure thing, which one? So we are still on Act 1. Yes, apparently we are. There's a little bit of a title screen when we reach Act 2, and the text box changes depending on which character you're going for. Like when you go for Yuri, starting from Act 2, you'll get a text box that's like a starry sky. For Natsuki, it's like a really cutesy text box. And I'm curious to see what we'll see for Sayori. Sure thing, which one? Well, you'll see. I'll keep it a surprise. Sounds fun, just give me a few minutes to get ready, okay? Yeah, just let me know when you're dressed and I'll meet you outside your house. Alrighty. As I slip my phone back into my pocket, I start to aimlessly plan what we'll get up to. Yeah, I know, this game is longer. Because in the original Act 1 ends right before the festival. And here, we're not only experiencing the entirety of the festival, but apparently Act 1 continues a little bit beyond the festival as well. But I think Act 2 is where your choices really start to matter, and Act 3 is where you can then find the endings and everything. So, yeah. Parking our house. When we were children, it was almost like a second home to us. So much time spent exploring. We used to get tons of ice cream at the playground after working the puppy dog eyes on our parents. In fact, I think it was at that very park that I first met Sayori. Something about ice cream. Not even surprised we met and initially bonded over food. Good times. another notification. Okay, I'm good. Coming out now. With Sayori in tow, we make our way over. Already, I'm reminded of the time we spent together last Sunday. I'm hoping today is just as enjoyable. Although last time she got to learn a little more about me, I didn't get to learn much about her. Well, in the time we've been apart, I've got no idea about how she's been finding school, what her interests are, her plans for the future, all that stuff.
So, I know you said it's meant to be a surprise, but can I get a teeny tiny hint?
Should I?
Please? After all, it is super early.
I check my watch. It's 11:30. Sayori, it's almost noon.
Yeah, super early.
I mean, she's not wrong. She isn't, absolutely. I suppose you've got a point. Alright. I lean in conspiratorially. This is super top secret stuff.
Understood, Agent.
If I gave you the codename Childhood, where would you think? She scrunches up her face, fiddling with a strand of her hair in her hands.
Oh, I know.
Is she going to get it on her first try? I'll be mighty impressed.
You're not going to take me to the elementary school, are you?
Well, that hope got shot down. Yes, we're going to the elementary school, absolutely. Can't help but sigh.
No? Worth a try.
I'll give you another hint. Do you remember where we first met?
It wasn't elementary school, was it?
If you say that one more time.
Kidding. You're kind of fun to wind up sometimes, you know? Makes a change from you always being mean to me.
You love it, really. That's the only way I can get back from all those tricks you used to play on me, you know.
Tricks? I don't know what you're talking about.
That innocent childlike grin is back on her face. Already, I'm glad I decided to text her instead of going back to sleep. What about the time you told my mom that I threw that tennis ball at you so she'd make me give you my candy? Or that time we climbed that tree and got stuck. I told you it'd be too high, but you didn't listen. My dad had to get us down. I grin. The climb was pretty fun, the view was incredible.
See, it wasn't all bad.
I know. It was all good-natured. We used to get up to so much mischief.
We sure did. Anyway, I think I know where we're going. Paku Park, right?
Ah, so there is something in that head of yours after all, then.
Hey!
And so here we are.
Oh, I love this place. I haven't been here in so long.
Yeah, me neither. We take a seat on the wooden bench, which affords us a lovely view of the park around us. Children are playing all sorts of ball games as their parents chat admittedly. What? Didn't even read that. Dogs are running around as their owners laugh and chase them. I smile. Here with Sayori, I truly feel like I'm at home. Figured it'd do the both of us some good to take a trip down memory lane, eh? Especially after that fiasco of the festival and everything.
Ah, yeah.
From the change of her tone and expression, the festival still looks like it's bothering her. Can't blame her. All of the club members are feeling it. I was hoping by now things would
go back to how they used to.
Yeah, that. I mean, yeah, the festival was a bit of a failure, but the club is still a nice little place for us five, right? Sayori looks ahead, idly poking at a twig at her feet.
Yeah, it is. I just really wish people weren't so mean. We all practice super hard too. All that for nothing.
Hey, come on, Sayori. It's not like you to be so depressing. Oh, you said the word. He said it. He said the thing. Now, how is Sayori gonna react? She's not gonna react? We shouldn't dwell too much on that anyway. What's done is done, right? Besides, I want today to be a good day. She blinks as a slightly shameful look crosses her features. Sayori, it's not like you to be so depressing. It's not like you have depression or anything, do you?
Ah, yeah, you're right, Code. Sorry.
Nah, don't apologize. After all, it was me who brought it up, so I can't really talk. Anyway, I brought you here because I know this place means a lot to you. I was worried you might be upset, so I was hoping this could cheer you up.
Ah, Code, you didn't have to do that.
Well, that, but most importantly, I just need to get an excuse to get out of the house. She pokes me in the ribs as I laugh. And besides, spending time with you on Sunday made me realize that we have a lot to catch up on. She giggles. I guess both of us don't know where to start. It's almost like we've just met and don't know what to say to each other. In a strange way, I guess that's the best case to some extent. I guess I'll start. You know, I've always been curious as to why you joined the literature club. I didn't really think poetry was your thing. She leans forward, resting her chin on her knees.
Well, Monica and I are actually in the same class. She's the one who told me about it. In a way, I guess I was kind of like you.
Like me?
Yeah, as in I didn't really think much of poetry. It's not that I didn't like it, I just didn't think too much about it. But as I joined and Monica told me more and more about literature, about how poetry can be a really nice way to express yourselves, I loved it. Anyone can write poetry, and that's what I really like. Doesn't matter who you are, what your interests are, or how good you are. There's something for everyone.
Interesting. Yuri, Monica, and Sayori all appreciate poetry for different reasons. Look at you just leaving Natsuki out of the picture. Why are you ignoring Natsuki? Why are you choosing to name everyone except Best Girl? Don't leave Best Girl out of this. Mention her too. You're not even gonna acknowledge her existence, are you? Wow. Douche. I get the sense that Yuri likes poetry as it gives her an opportunity to express deep, complex stuff. Monica seems to be on a similar wavelength to Yuri, but I think she prefers abstract stuff more. Then again, I guess Yuri also uses a lot of abstract themes in her poems. Who knows, I'm still an amateur. Sayori notices my chuckle.
What's up?
So we're seriously not gonna acknowledge Natsuki. My respect for this character just keeps declining every time I see him. Except for, you know, the times where the game actually calls me out, but even then I don't approve. Nothing. I was just thinking about how everyone in the club seems to appreciate different things in poetry. What else? Sayori has a faraway look in her eyes as she asks the next question.
I remember we used to think alike in so many ways. Like when we used to look at clouds. We'd see a lot of similar things in the sky. So I wonder, do we still do that?
I grin. I had totally forgotten how much we used to enjoy cloud watching back in the day. You don't think we think about the similar stuff? We write the same style of poems. There. Every time I remember something more fun from our childhoods, it brings a smile to my face. Cloud watching perfectly captured that innocent, carefree essence of nostalgia. I had totally forgotten about that. We really let our imaginations run wild, didn't we? And the best thing is, it worked.
Yeah, clouds are always cool like that. What about that one?
She takes my outstretched finger in her hands and points to a specific point. Aha! Yeah, I can see that one now. This one looks like a fish.
Oh, it's so small. Look at that one. Kinda looks like a little frog. Hey, this is what I love about clouds. They're so... What's the word? Cloud?
Cloudy? I swear. I don't want more of those conspiracy theories going around about me being a girl just because I say that stuff in the female voice sometimes. Ow. You really like poking me in the ribs, don't you?
I was trying to think of the right word. I think I heard Yuri say it once. Versatile? I think that means that something is... I forgot.
Well, it sounds like it. Well, it sounds like it fits. And now I'm mixing it the other way around. Get your text boxes correct. Come on, I can do this. Okay. Yeah, I'd say that's about right. Pretty cool how different people see different things when looking at the exact same one.
I wonder what the other girls would see.
Fluffy kittens for Natsuki, and something spooky with Yuri. Sayori trans! Sayori's trans, absolutely. Absolutely. You know, speaking of trans, I just wanted to point out that one spelling mistake I noticed. Was it the previous stream or the one before that? Where the game called Natsuki he instead of a she. And I was like, game, is there something you want to tell me? Why are you referring to Natsuki as he? I don't like that. I mean, I know she's flat, but game, please. And that kind of worried me. I mean, I know it was probably just a spelling mistake in the mod, but you gotta talk about that stuff, right? You gotta talk about that when it comes up. Please, no, I absolutely agree. Don't let best girl be your trap. Don't let best girl be your trap. Just don't. But that's what happens with a spelling mistake. Depending on how the spelling mistake can be interpreted, you can get this kind of stuff. Also, good on the main character for finally mentioning Natsuki.
You've really known them well, huh? What do you think Monica would see?
A piano? I mean, you can interpret a cloud however you want, right? I'm just thinking of stuff that reminds me of her.
Well, I'm happy that we can still cloud gaze the same way.
Yeah, that makes two of us. I was kind of worried that maybe we'd, I don't know, drifted too far apart. So much so that we'd be totally different people. But that doesn't look to be the case.
Yeah. By the way, Code, I've been meaning to ask you.
Yes, I do.
How are you doing in school?
Oh, that. Apologies. Yes, that, of course. Yeah, alright. Geez, Sayori, that's a kind of boring question, don't you think?
Don't try and worm out of this one, mister. I still worry about you, you know.
Okay. Gotta, you know. With Sayori, you have to expect everything, because she's very blunt most of the time. Except for when it comes to her depression. That she just hides. But she enjoys using, like, the simple words, making stuff obvious. Let's talk about something else. Like school? Ah, nah. That's not a time I want to go back to. Then again, having a strict schedule for your day was also kind of interesting. It just made you feel less like a worthless piece of society. I mean, it's not like I don't have a schedule nowadays. It just was a little bit more regular back then.
I just want to know how if you're doing fine, that's all.
There's nothing to worry about. I'm doing just fine. You sound a little bit like Mom.
I can't tell if that's a compliment or an insult.
A mystery will take to our graves, eh? Her subsequent pout makes me chuckle. If I got you a popsicle, would that make you feel less pouty with me?
You think you can change my mood with food, huh?
Depends on the flavor. Mental note to self. So Sayori is ever actually annoyed with me, just get her something sweet. Who knows when that information will come in handy later. Game, are you calling this out? Is one of the choices gonna be buy her something sweet or who knows what? Someone make a mental note of that. If we ever get a choice where one of the options is buy her something sweet and I don't remember this, please make sure I pick that option. The more I think about it, perhaps I was wrong to worry we'd have changed too much. After all, I am pretty much still the same person. 6 or so years isn't that much time, I guess. One thing that hasn't changed is how much she loves to explore, and how much her imagination accommodates that. Forests weren't just forests. They were part of a magical land inhabited by an array of mystical creatures. What? What? The candy thing? I mean, I probably won't forget the candy thing, but... Come on, if we ever get to the choice like... Sayori's in trouble, take her to therapy or buy her something sweet. We know what we have to choose, buy her something sweet. We get into the situation, oh no, Sayori's gonna die, save her or buy her something sweet. We choose to buy her something sweet. Whatever the other option is, we always buy her something sweet. It's gonna work, don't worry. Okay? Just trust me on this. The game told me so. And I can trust the game, right? Beaches weren't just sand and sea, they were tropical paradises. Home to countless happy childhood memories. Also, beach? Also, I figured out how to get rid of the text. This is the first time we've seen a beach in this game. Isn't this the first time we've seen a beach in this game? That now was not to this question I just asked, right? I know it was to what I said previously. But I think this definitely is the first time. I mean, it's not like we're going to a beach, but yeah. It's kind of interesting that so many artworks are just like things that you see like one time and then never again. They definitely could have used this to make like a beach episode or something. What if there's a secret ending that if we get all the other endings, we get a beach episode with all the girls in swimsuits? What if? I mean, I wouldn't complain. I mean, I don't think that's gonna happen. But I can dream, right? I can dream. Searching for crabs, aimlessly splashing in the sea, checking out hidden coves. So we could even transform our homes into something they weren't. We used to jump around, from sofa to sofa, chair to chair, pretending that the floor was lava. That game never got old. And I'm pretty sure every kid on the planet has played it too. You know something, Sayori? She's slightly ahead of me, ducking under a tree branch. We're now in the forest part of the park. I've had a sudden realization as to why your poems are so good.
They're not that good.
No, seriously. Your imagination has always been super strong. All those games we used to play as children, you were always part of your own little world. And it shows in your poems.
I'm glad you picked up on it. Writing poems is half the fun. The other half is showing them to people. Especially when they like what you've written.
What's your thought process when you're writing your poems? Like, how do you write them?
I just go with my heart. I guess it's kinda tricky to explain. I think it just depends on my mood. Like when I wrote Dear Sunshine, I was in a pretty good mood.
More like you were just hungry, given how you wrote it while you were eating breakfast.
I was in a good mood because I was eating breakfast. Anyway, so with bottles, because I was thinking about how much I want people to be happy. So that's the reason to your question. So that's the answer to your question. It just depends on my mood and what I happen to be thinking about. I wonder how the others do it.
Yeah, me too, actually. Would be kind of interesting to see how you all approach poetry. Although I think I wouldn't be able to understand how someone like Yuri does it. Her poetry still goes over my head.
Good to know I'm not the only one.
Although, what about your fairy tale poem? What was your thought process behind that one?
Oh, that one.
There's an immediate shift in atmosphere.
There wasn't really one. I just felt like writing it, I guess.
But you say you write your poems based on what you're thinking of or feeling at the time, right?
What about you, Code? How do you write yours?
I should have known she would be a little cagey about that one. Thinking back on her behavior that Friday, I guess it's to be expected. Just what is it about that poem and her behavior that bothers me so much? Is it because it shows a side to Sayori that's totally new to me, one that I'm not used to? Or because I know there's still something she isn't telling me?
Code?
Huh? Oh, sorry, I was spacing out a little bit. Well, I guess I'm similar to you, I suppose. I just pick a bunch of words that best describe what I'm thinking about and then write a poem based on those. To be honest, I'm not really experienced enough to give you a proper answer. Kind of make it up on the spot. But it's worked so far, and so I'm not complaining. Same. Sayori pauses, looking around at the copse surrounding us. I almost read that as corpse. She's looking at the corpse. Yeah, thank God I noticed, because that would have been awkward. She walks up to a large tree and plants herself down in front of it. I follow suit, resting my back against the sturdy trunk, admiring the soft rays as they penetrate the branches. That's not the only thing that's gonna be penetrated today. Oh-ho! There we go. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. We did it. I made a dirty joke. Now back to regularly scheduled programming.
What you said reminds me of something Monica once told me. Something about if you don't have confidence, just fake it until people believe you do.
She turns to face me, a thoughtful expression on her face.
Sometimes I wonder if she really is confident or if it's just a show. I get the feeling that sometimes you can never tell with people.
I blink. That was remarkably insightful for Sayori. A more reflective mood seems to have fallen upon her. No idea, to be honest. She seems pretty genuine. I mean, she was like this when I first met her as well, so that could be an awful long time to wear that mask. I wouldn't have expected that sort of question from you, though. Why'd you ask? She smiles mischievously.
Sometimes it's nice to surprise people.
What do you mean?
Well, let me ask you, Code. If you had to describe me in a few words, which words would you use?
She's giving me the hints. Bubbly and light-hearted and adventurous. I've always seen you as quite kind. You know, given how you're always concerned with how happy other people are. Guess your most definitive trait is your happiness. Like, you always seem so cheerful, at ease with the world. Kinda wish I could be like that sometimes. Although from what I've sort of picked up on, just like everyone else, you still feel down from time to time. Right? She looks on ahead, a faraway look on her face. Not from time to time, buddy. Always. Pretty much. It's not exactly sad, but there's a certain air of, what? Wonder? Nostalgia?
See, that's what I mean. Everyone picks up on those things you mentioned, but they'd find me asking this question a bit unlike me, if you get what I'm saying. I guess it's because of how I act in the literature club. Aside from my poetry, I never really talk about deeper things, or things that aren't just aimlessly happy.
Yeah?
I guess I just don't want to bother people with that sort of stuff.
Bother them? Why would it bother them, Sayori?
Well, maybe that isn't the right word. Sorry, I've never really been that good at expressing myself in person. It's much easier to do in a poem.
It's okay. Never really been good at it either.
A lot of the time I like to think about the past and how things used to be. I told Natsuki about this.
She giggles softly.
And Natsuki thinks I live in the past. But I don't think there's anything wrong with that, do you?
Nah, if you're happy, what's the issue? It's only natural that you'd want to think about the good times that brought a smile to your face, right? When we first started talking again, I used to look back on all our shared memories from all those years ago. From when we first met and bonded over ice cream, to me winning Mr. Cow for you, to helping you with homework. I remember our parents used to say we were pretty much inseparable.
Mm-hmm. Everyone has their happy thoughts, which keep them going, right?
Stored away in bottles, eh?
Of course.
She sighs contently.
Sadly, I didn't mean to bore you or anything.
Bore me? Really, Sayori, you're sounding a little bit like Yuri. I haven't seen this side of you before, and I really like it. As much as I enjoy our playful banter, this made for a really nice change of pace. Besides, I always like talking to you.
Thank you, Code. I worry about, well,
sorry, people are always going to enjoy being your friend, even if you're not super chipper all the time. It's okay, seriously, just be yourself. Don't hide anything. I'll be here, don't you worry. I reach over and squeeze her hand, smiling reassuringly. Sayori noticeably fidgets, looking rather uneasy about something, while she's thinking about sharing her the story of her depression, but I don't think she's gonna do it. What's wrong?
Actually, there is something I could tell you.
She's not actually gonna do it already. She's not actually gonna do it right now.
I don't know if it's a good idea, though.
My heart starts to race as a million questions start whizzing around my head. Is this about fairy tale, her behavior on Friday, some other secret that's coming right out of the blue? Or perhaps something else entirely? Sayori?
The truth is,
if disappointment ever had a sound, it would be the ringing phone. No, she was gonna say it. And now it's gonna take forever for this moment to reoccur. With a groan, I fumble into my pocket, glaring at the offending object, as if it knows it's responsible for ruining such a moment. It's my mother. I haven't spoken to her in a long time. In fact, the last time I spoke to her was before I joined the literature club. This horrible woman, how dare she interrupt me? I'm really sorry, Sayori. I'm going to have to take this. A strange smile is on her face. She shakes her head.
No, it's fine. Don't worry about it.
Hi, Mom. Haven't spoken to you in a while. Hope you've been good.
Code, sorry, it's been so long. Work has been so hectic over the past few weeks.
Is there... And there I was, thinking you'd forgotten about me.
Don't be silly, I always worry about you.
I know, Mom, it was just a joke. Just like your existence.
You and your sarcasm. You must have got that from your father. How have you been anyway? Are you eating well, exercising daily, drinking lots of water?
Whoa, slow down. I've been doing just fine. I've actually joined a club.
Oh wow, that's wonderful. What kind of club is it?
Literature, funnily enough. Poems and stuff, Sayori told me about it, as she's the vice president.
I hope you stick with it.
Yeah, I don't think the girls would forgive me if I left.
Girls, you said?
Uh-oh. Anyway, now is not really a great time, as I'm just chilling with Sayori. You know, that park you used to always take us to.
Oh, you're with Sayori? How's she doing?
We're having a catch-up session, actually. She's not changed too much. Anyway, can I call you back later? Kinda cutting her off right now.
Of course. I have the evening off, so we can talk then, okay?
Sure thing.
Before I go, you are remembering to eat, right?
I roll my eyes before I realize that you can't see that. Yes, Mom, of course I am remembering to eat. What am I? Going on a fast or something? Or do you think I'm 5? I can see Sayori giggling out of the corner of my eye. If I were you, I would be more concerned about Sayori. Lazy girl, can't even get out of bed. I grin as I see her laugh turn into a childish frown.
Oh, stop teasing her, Code. You're so mean to her sometimes.
Jeez, you sound like her. Anyway, gotta go. Talk to you later, okay? Love you.
Love you too, bye.
I tuck my phone away and turn back to Sayori. Sorry about that, had no idea she'd call.
It's okay. You haven't spoken to her in a while, so it was nice to hear you two talking again.
Anyway, what were you saying? She's not gonna say it now, is she? The moment's ruined. The moment's gone. You wanted to tell me something? Sayori isn't sitting down by the tree anymore. She's standing up and looks ready to go.
Oh, don't worry about that. It was nothing important.
You sure? It seemed kinda serious.
It's okay, I'm kinda hungry anyway. Can we stop by a cafe on the way home?
Never have I been more mad at the fact that they introduced the mother as a side character. She is currently on the top, at the very top of my hate list of the characters in this game. She actually has surpassed the main character on that list. I mean, the main character is dense, but she just has to call in worse situations, and we lost this opportunity. The main character is so dense he's not gonna figure it out himself, and this was the one opportunity he had to find out because she was actually gonna tell him. You literally just had a popsicle.
Well, you know what they say.
And what would that be?
The fridge is a clear example that what matters is on the inside.
I stare at her. What does that have to do with anything?
It's about food?
You know what? Let's just go and get whatever you want. We'll be here for a while if I try to understand what's going on in Sayori's head. You really should try to understand what's going on in there. After one tasty lunchtime later, Sayori's appetite is finally sated. It's getting to the late afternoon at this point. Hey Sayori. Not that I didn't enjoy today, but I think I'm gonna have to call it there. There's a mountain of homework I haven't even started that's due on Monday, and I don't think Sakurai is gonna be happy with me if it's late. Her face still has traces of chocolate all over it. She hastily attempts to wipe it off.
Oh, that's okay. I probably should do the same.
We've reached my house. Okay. Well, I'll see you on Monday then. Have a good one. She waves cheerily.
Bye, Code. Thanks again for today.
No worries. Sorry I ruined it with the phone call.
You didn't. It's okay.
I wish I could spend the rest of the day with her, but unfortunately my procrastination has caught up with me. What a fun evening this will be. Are we still in Act 1 or is it now time? Is it now time? There we go. Past, present and future. And you know what? This seems like a good spot to end the stream, don't you guys agree? I've almost exhausted my second cup of water and... Jesus, that's twice what I drink normally. Oh my god, she has blue skies. Her text box is literally blue skies. Wow. So are the mod creators trying to proclaim that Sayori is indeed best girl, in their opinion? Well, in that case I'm curious to see what they're gonna do with her story. But we'll find out when that time comes. For now, I'm gonna end it here. I can't believe I said that I would initially try to fit the entirety of Act 1 into the previous stream, because we've already filled out yet another full stream and we're only now entering Act 2. Jesus. Anyway, yeah. This is, as I said, where I'm gonna end today's stream. Gotta start on writing a poem again. So that'll be fun. Other than that, I'm definitely gonna check Discord from now on, considering that now I have at least one other person in the Discord server. So who knows when I'll get when some messages will start popping up. Though I am kind of sad that you're I'm kind of sad that you're currently the only one who's sticking around, especially after the previous DLC stream where it really seemed like more people had joined the channel to be around more frequently. And, well, they haven't shown themselves since then. Then again, it's only been 2 streams, really. Maybe they just didn't have the time. Especially since I'm doing these streams currently, like, during the week. And I think weekends would be a better time to stream for everyone else involved. So I can kind of understand why they wouldn't necessarily be here today. Anyway, as I've said, ending it here. Thank you very much for coming. And yeah, I hope to see you next time. So until then, bye.